Stream is live.
So StreamYard seems quite cool. I have this thing also will let me like put in a QR code.
Nice.
Which seems wild.
We just got the alert that you went live. So
You want me to check to see if we're live on YouTube?
Should be.
I might as well.
If Kyle got the alert.
We are. Oh, it's so weird. I can see myself.
That's you can experience that every day if you'd like. It's called a mirror.
Speaking of mirrors, to get our logo facing the proper way, it weirds me out that I am mirrored right now. So like I think I'm moving left and on the screen I move right. Very annoying.
That's cool. You got that working.
Hey guys, if you'd like to join the community Discord, you can just scan this QR code right here and it'll take you to the Discord for Shard of Opportunity.
I also really enjoy the little duck in the
CJ,
I know, right?
Like the other corner so it doesn't block your face.
Oh, it's certainly possible I might. I want to test it out first and see what happens.
Just
oh my gosh, it works. Guys, we have a QR code that goes to the Shard of Opportunity Discord.
Disgusting.
That's amazing. I'm going to do it.
We are legit.
Too legit to quit. Oh, I bet if I hit this pencil and then I do this. There we go. Then I can do it. I can't move the QR code? That's interesting. We have 4 viewers. Welcome to the Koloss Headmunching Day live stream. We've got me. We got Kyle. We got Reader Warrior. We got Irving. And some other Shard of Opportunity heralds popping in, popping out. And we're looking forward to hearing what Brandon's got planned for the spoiler stream.
Are all... This is me just, trying to understand things. Is every comment that comes in on any live stream going to show up in here? Does some of us want to regulate like YouTube versus TikTok versus whatever we have up?
TikTok is not available yet because of TikTok rule shenanigans. So I went into TikTok. We can stream live to TikTok, but we cannot restream to TikTok, which is its own separate capacity.
Okay.
So DJB's lectures. What's up? How we doing?
I have enjoyed your comments on our videos, by the way.
Yeah. Big fan.
Thanks for always being there.
We definitely appreciate it. Because definitely, Irving and I definitely feel like we are talking into the void sometimes.
Which we would do anyway.
Correct. We would record this if we had 0 listeners, but we are that confident in our takes on the Cosmere RPG.
Absolutely.
I love that so much.
Never wrong.
Never wrong. Never been wrong.
3 minutes.
I was going to look back. I feel like, Matthew, you just captured one of his. What did you comment? I think it was about the NPCs, how I'm collecting like 100 of them. And it's correct.
It's the same NPC. What are you talking about?
Oh no, they're well, that one too. That there is that problem also, which is not fully. That's a January spoiler there. Though do you even know about that? Do you know what's going on with that?
I purposely do not watch anything out of like I wait till it airs. Nice. As much as some chats make me want to watch them ahead of time, I wait till they air.
Super fair.
Got to get those all important views, especially with my premium account.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the sole Apple Podcast listener on Loose Cannon.
Nope. I am number 2, sir, because that's actually how I take in most of the stuff, because it's just easier for me to listen to audio than it is to catch video.
Yeah.
I'm in the car an hour and a half each way to work, or an hour each way to work, so I can knock an episode out every day on my drive.
DJBs, are you hoping for any particular answers to a spoiler question today? I feel like that's a good thing to think through in the theoretically minute, but probably like 5 to 10 before we get started with Brandon. And Kyle or Reader or Irving, same question. Any questions you're hoping get answered tonight?
You guys can answer first.
I don't have any. I
honestly haven't even read the. I usually would read the Reddit to see what's getting upvoted, but I'm going into this completely blind. I am excited though that
Carson.
What's up, Carson?
What are you doing, man? How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
welcome to the shenanigans.
Carson, one of our fantastic, amazing GMs for Brotherwise at Nexus this year.
An upcoming guest.
I was about to say, yeah, upcoming
Guest on
complicated opportunities guest.
Okay, Joff, really? What are you doing in the comments over there?
What did I do? Josh, what do you mean? What did I do? I don't know. What did you do?
Earlier when you guys were saying, "Oh, Jaffu was doing that," I like messaged in the group chat like, "Jaffu, how dare you?" It was purely a joke based on what they told me. I apologize.
I don't even remember what we were saying anymore. Josh does so many wonderful things.
And
Great
so many
reference
things deserving of
information would be
criticism.
Accusations were made. That's true.
Accuse.
Ooh, DJB wants to know about Gray Remnant. I could see that. I feel like
I think there'll be a good amount of Gray Remnant questions.
I got one answered at Nexus.
Really?
really.
I did. At a dinner I was at, I just asked like how much of that was Brotherwise, how much of that was Brandon. And it was a little bit of both, is what I was told. But it was originally a Brotherwise idea, apparently.
Oh,
Now,
love
that is not a word of Brandon until Brandon actually says it. But I was asking many a question about it because I just
It's
read
walk. It's a word of Kyle.
God. I don't know if those ever need to happen.
The Dresden Files fandom has started doing words of Jim, and that just weirds me out because I'm like, no. That's not what this is about. We don't do that here.
It could be even more confusing. They can call them WOB, words of butcher.
They could have done that.
TJ, don't give them ideas.
Are there others like it for other sapient friend types?
See, I haven't even actually done Stonewalkers all the way around, so you'll have to tell me what the Gray Remnant is.
You can listen to the episode.
That is such a fair and balanced TM statement, but you could also just tell me that's what would happen.
I don't have the book, so I'm not perfectly sure.
I mean, like, Kyle, do you have like a sense for what it is? Because I have an opinion just from watching and like a little bit of reading.
Yeah, I mean, the extent of, I don't remember a lot of it for the, whoever gave that idea, Word of Ross, yes, Carson.
Carson, that's Carson, man. Yeah,
we absolutely should have
know
Word
what's
of
going
Ross.
on.
Also, upcoming guest on Complicated Opportunities. Anyway, I might be in sales. The Gray Remnant is basically a sentient spren under the city of Rathalas. I don't remember how much Warlock there is.
Yes.
So I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm trying to bring the book up now, but Demi-Plane's being really slow. But it has a similar feel to the Night Watcher, and I believe even calls the Night Watcher its cousin.
Yeah, it does.
I think so, or at least that's what Scott told me.
Or sister, maybe?
Something like that. I'm trying to get that to the point in the book.
It has a relation to the Night Watcher.
Here we go. Gray Remnant appears as grasping hands and converses in the raspy voice of a sickly old man. The ancient spren has slumbered below Rathalas for thousands of years. Vorin priest hid the spren's existence to prevent people from seeking its knowledge. It can withdraw into the stones if it feels.
I didn't know that bit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the art for it is sick.
The art is.
I've seen the art because the art's in the episode.
Yeah, the art is sick. But yeah, basically it'll do, it asks for truths and it needs truths. It feels very, very Lightweaver based.
So do we feel like it is a sort of adult version of a particular type of spren?
Possibly.
So I've always had this sort of mindset that there are, like, granted, this was before we knew about stone, night, and wind, that there were the spren, and then there were god spren, and then there was, you know, the shards. And now in my mind, I've got there are spren, god spren, primordial spren, and that's sort of stone, wind, and night. And so I'm wondering how many god spren there really exists.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, are you calling Godspren, Stormfather, Night Watcher?
Yeah.
Okay, I disagree with that term, but we'll use it for now.
Yeah, Joff has a good way.
The best kind of agreement. I don't agree with you, but I'll let you use it for now.
Night Watcher Light is
Yeah,
definitely what it feels like, the way it's written.
Yeah.
Could be that maybe night made the Gray Remnant, while Cultivation made the Night Watcher out of remnants from night. There's just so much we need answers to.
Yeah, I guess my thought is that these spren are a little bit like the unmade are cousins to these spren that went through the process of being unmade. So I think these are like
Sorry, the Gray Remnant.
made
Sorry to interrupt.
spren.
Sorry to interrupt, Irving. The Gray Remnant calls the Night Watcher its mother.
Oh, yeah.
So the night. It sounds like the Night Watcher is basically Night Watcher is to Cultivation. Gray Remnant is to Night Watcher, or to yes.
So demigod spread.
Yeah. Got a whole new Hercules range for this guy.
0 to hero, just like that. And that's how we got our first actual copyright strike. Josh protected us for so long, but he couldn't protect us from CJ Live singing Disney songs.
Who puts the rat in radiate?
It is time for Cosmere the Musical.
I would object.
Let me pull that up.
Oh, that would be. I would.
I'd be into it. And I'm not even the biggest musical fan.
The hero for all ages.
I like it.
Can somebody
Still the
maybe
Stormfather
toss?
Oh, that's actually a fairly interesting comparison.
So
Carson Potter says Syl to Stormfather as Grey Remnant is to Night Watcher.
Well, now, is Syl made by the Stormfather? I thought Syl was the last spren, quote unquote, made by Honor.
I feel like it is
took over that.
open. It's open to theorizing, right? Like she talks about him like it's the father, but is that Honor within the Stormfather that is the father, and they just have like forgotten that happened, or they weren't acknowledging it, or it's interesting.
I mean, it could be now that Cultivation has yeeted herself away. Night Watcher takes sort of her place, and then the Grey Remnant takes the Night Watcher's place.
I want to highlight
and
real
that could
quick,
happen, but at the time of the story, Cultivation's still on planet.
Yeah.
In the YouTube chat, a rambling dad said, "Can Brandon's next secret novel be the Elantris sequel?"
My friend,
it should be the Warbreaker sequel. Let's be honest.
My flatmate Luke is a huge fan of Elantris, and every time I give him like updates on what Brandon's up to, he's like, "How's the Elantris sequel coming?" I'm like, "Well, today we've got a bit of an update, but sorry to say, with the movie's idea."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I want Nightblood before I want Elantris anyway. So I want that Warbreaker sequel bad.
I feel like Elantris would be more interesting because there's so much that needs to be explained in Elantris that could be explained in a sequel, while a lot of Nightblood can just be they ended up over here.
Great Scott!
Hey, what?
Storm Daddy.
Scott, the
Hi,
local
guys.
The
cryptid.
Storm Daddy.
What
has entered
strange
the
riddles do
building.
you have for us today, Scott?
Also, where are your Doritos?
Oh, I finally threw them away.
Wait, you kept them?
What? Yeah. You don't want to.
You got the Doritos
around that long?
From the ska ball to the hotel, from the hotel to
But I
the
don't wanna be
car
around
to the airport?
What?
You didn't have to fly. You didn't have to
I didn't
fly.
have to fly. I just lived there.
That's right.
So
Right.
Jafu, I agree. That is a bit of a clarification, but I feel like the analogy could fit.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Scott, I have an aviation question.
Pay attention. Oh, all right. Yeah, hit me.
So on my flight from the UK to the US, they
Uh-huh.
allow me one 23-kilogram bag to be checked in, and then a 7-kilogram carry-on luggage bag.
Yeah.
Wait, 123 kilograms there, and then only 7 on the way back?
No, a singular 23-kilogram checked-in luggage. So that's the big luggage bag.
Yeah.
How did you fit all 123 kilograms in
Can
one
we
bag?
get to the questions, EJ?
So
I need to understand the premise, Scott.
You're
can't
not
just
answering. I'm answering.
So
I need to know whether you're
following.
wrong or not. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know, Scott. If you're going to give me this guff, maybe we'll just do that. Maybe now they can't hear you. How about that? How about them apples?
Oh no, he's mad with power.
We gave
Yeah,
CJ way too much power tonight.
Okay, so if it goes over and it's like at 24 or 25 kilograms, and I move it into the red bag, which is my carry-on, but they're like, oh, we can take that and check it in.
Yeah.
Then doesn't the total weightage stay the same? Why do I need to take the stuff out of the...
Bro, it's less about weight and more about balance, where the weight is on the plane. Because they really need to pay attention. If your center of gravity is like too far back, it makes it so much harder to like recover from stalls. You're burning a lot more. Like the whole aerodynamics are just off. So it's really all about where everything is on the plane, which is how they come up with those weights for what you can have in overhead versus personal item versus underneath. Because underneath, like before they take off, the pilots get a printout that has all of the like the weight distribution and all the calculations calculating what the center of gravity is for the flight and how that's going to affect their flying, how that's going to affect fuel usage, stuff like that. There's nothing to do with Koloss Headmunching Day, but that's the reason.
I did not know this.
Yeah, and I don't know how that affects the fourth bridge.
If you had to guess,
Presumably
with a
not at
professional
all,
opinion.
because one's working from like a D-gravity versus one is working from a lift mechanic. It feels like.
Yeah. If I had to guess, they've got different, like they're doing it with like harmonically linked like gems, right? And different platforms in different places. I would guess that there would be differential strain on the different gems in their casings based on the balance of the fourth bridge. So
Okay. No, this is the new.
I don't know.
This is the new series. Scott does engineering in the Cosmere.
only aviation related.
Aerodynamics on
chemical engineering in college.
Do you know who the most popular character in the Stormlight Archive is? This flying guy right over here.
Yeah,
There's plenty of capacity for some
I
flying
like
engineering
2026.
questions.
Here's the panel.
Here's the panel.
I always
Aviation in the Cosmere. Does it fly?
I always love that Johnny Stormlight is on your wall.
He's not on my wall, to be clear. He is standing
Laid across.
against my wall. Oh, they've changed it. This is
Yeah,
different.
it's on. It's actually going.
Joff,
But I can't get
there are
the
a lot of words
comment
out
section
there.
up on my phone for some reason.
The estimated live streaming time is 2020. So any minute.
Damn. Oh, darn.
Shoot.
Made it 5 minutes, Irving. 5
Listen,
storming
it was a
minutes.
minor one.
Hey, that's not okay for children either. Okay.
Is it not?
Oh, CJ.
I don't have children, CJ.
Hello, we should be live. Let us know in the chat if we're live, and you can see the birthday boy here.
Not me,
Not you.
just for clarification.
And then if you guys have any audio things, let us know as well. This is
Yep.
Donald on the background mic. We just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
the
Also,
only audio thing I have
This feels
is
weird to me.
that
been
I
a while
also
since
had
I-
it on personally.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
that's
I
how we
heard it
started,
echo.
but
That
mostly
turned out
replaced
classic
with
Scott.
Dan
Yes.
and maybe Donald. Mm-hmm. Did you know Donald was now a co-host on the podcast?
That's what I heard.
We promoted him.
I think we should demote him just for good measure.
Well, Dan will probably come up with something eventually. Hey, Dan won't let you enjoy and revel in this victory very long, Donald.
You know, victory is a relative term I have found, but it's been great.
Are you mic'd as well?
I am mic'd.
Okay.
Good.
Happy birthday, everybody. We were discussing while we were waiting for them to figure out why it wanted to start two
Scott.
live streams
Thank
at
you
once.
so
Say
much.
happy birthday to everyone else.
We were talking about new pen lore.
He literally
If
did
you've
say
watched me
happy
sign
birthday.
things.
Everybody.
I have switched pens. I used to use these guys.
I love those.
New pen lore just dropped.
These guys. The Zebra Sarasa Dry X. And they just didn't dry quite fast enough. So
Pilot G2s.
we are now
Yeah.
moving to what my artist friends say, and we're using a Micron 12 from Pigma. And those dry super fast and are also, all the artists say they're more archival than even regular Bic ink. And they
What
say
you
they have
guys start art
So,
like
this is
auctioning?
what we're moving to as I sign Way of Kings Volume 1, which
Brandon
believe
does not need to
all
sell
sold out
any
inside
more
one.
merch than
Yeah, if
he
we start
already is.
caring
So,
as a fandom about
another
pen
snack going for
types, it's officially over.
So for those watching, stay
Kids
away
on
from the
his
chat.
bathwater.
They're allowed to post spoilers right now in their conversations. We're going to do the giveaway first, so that those who are watching and simply want to see what happens with the giveaway can know if they're getting a sword or not, and then can leave before I start being very spoilerific.
I'm going to turn him down while he's leading into the giveaway a little.
I should not.
I actually
I
won the
forgot I
drawing.
was in camera.
Oh, did
No,
you?
okay.
Sorry.
Adam wants.
The
Adam
winner
won
is
the
actually Chris
drawing.
Coleman.
Oh,
If
Chris
you're-
Coleman.
Chris Coleman. If,
I have
if
a
your name is Chris
question I
Coleman,
really want to
we'll
get
be emailing
answered
you for
based upon
additional
information
you
from
need to ship a sword to you. So keep an eye
Hopefully-
on your email.
House of the Underdark.
Chris Coleman's watching.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to try
Matt
to
Jenkins
ask
has only
that.
one Chris Coleman
Who's
on the feed.
on
A
the feed.
bit.
Or on the
Yeah.
segment.
So congratulations, Chris. You're going to get a sword. I think the one that we have is ours, and the Smith made 2.
Correct.
It is going to ship one directly to Chris. The
There's
other guy
apparently
I think you guys should know
350
and be aware of is
characters too long though.
when does the charity auction end tonight sometime.
It's a long question.
I will
How
double
long?
check. I can get that for you guys.
I
Because
should
It
know
was,
it is
it's
like-
about what is the difference between like negative investiture and
all
anti-investiture,
the wonderful paintings that were done based
Fair.
on my magic,
which I suppose I could just shorten it to
You can
that.
just ask that.
They're
That's
roughly going for
Okay.
last I looked
Fine.
around 750 to 1,000 each. They are originals with my own wonderful pencil work. It was probably pencil underneath.
Some
is
of
he
the
talking about
stuff-
the swords?
There are multiple.
Uh-oh.
CJ, what's happening?
Oh, the little red
CJ.
light went away, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Because
very
we're behind.
confused.
All these done. If you want
Yeah.
the paintings done from Brandon and his friends.
I think
No, it's those paintings that he started and then
Video
he had the
about
actual artist paint over.
red jewelry.
I think that's going to give
That's a great quote to come back on. My dad makes some great
I
jewelry.
can't decide which of the art is my favorite,
Mm.
but the one I most wanted to own, I think, is Steve Argyle as a
Yes.
vampire trying to sell me magic cards.
Yeah, was that your favorite?
Guys,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
feel like
And
I'm
for those who
literally
have
just
seen
in an
the
insane
cards of
alternate
Power
universe
9,
right
yes,
now.
it's
Like I have,
It's,
I'm sure this has
and
been talked
Steve
about in
painted
like
it as
weekly
himself,
updates or
so I used
something,
him as the model
but I have
when I was
no
sketching
idea what he's
and,
talking about.
Very
His
fond of
dad
it.
makes
But they
jewelry and
altered
they're
that really
selling it
well.
on the Lightweaver
Cameo,
Foundation.
beautiful.
I think I saw a post on
Even
Instagram
though
today or
it's
yesterday.
not cameo, we have- Careful, I don't know what the
Well, right
legality
now they're
is.
talking
These
about
are-
Steve Art, the artist. Like Brandon
Yeah.
does a bad
Yeah.
art, and then the artists do a good one.
Stay away from
Mm.
trying to use one of
It's hard to tell with the stream stopping and starting
the
as
cards
is.
was cameo herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, but and then of course we have Yasna eating pizza with my interpretation of Eldrazi. So lots
What?
of cool things. The painting of a crow as an
That might be my favorite.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Mhm.
Donato's.
Yeah. Oh, Donato's
For
is
the
amazing.
ring is amazing.
Uh-huh. Yep. He maybe enhanced me the most. So
But they're all worth checking out.
they are.
So go take a look.
All right. So from now on, I am answering spoiler things.
Yes.
So
And we were going to start doing a few just from the Reddit thread.
few from the Reddit thread, and we'll
then if
watch
you
this
see
thing.
questions
Yeah.
that you like, you can.
Does pizza exist on Roshar? No, it's non-canonical. But
I'm gonna try to get us caught up to the present.
If you just hit live, it'll take you
Way of
live.
Kings. Watch the beginning of the stream if you missed it for new.
And lore.
I clicked it, Scott. I clicked
Yeah.
Oh, that is fun.
I did sign a shard fork.
Step
at,
double click. Just
Oh, really?
click it once and let it catch it. It's
Sam,
fine for a couple minutes. Seconds
Broadsheets
fine.
equivalent to Ghost
Or you
Bloods.
can use
Yes,
the arrow keys.
in world comic books.
Oh,
I
very
tried that.
cool.
It did
Yes,
not work.
that's what we're planning
comic
right
books.
now.
Comic books for Era 3.
So,
I think I've heard that before.
So hit
Oh, that's a cool idea.
First one is
Oh,
from
for Wayne and Wax.
me.
It says in a non-spoiler Q&A at Worldcon, you talked about a character who was going to die in Wind and Truth
Yes.
in your outline, but that when you got to writing the book, you realized the character wouldn't make that choice and would go a different direction, and so survived.
Yes, this is a big one. I'm glad, and this is the biggest change I think I made. I actually saw that email. What is the biggest change there? It's twofold. One is boring. I changed Dalinar's flashbacks to being in book 3, and Zeth's flashbacks to being in book 5. That's the biggest change, I would say, along with Adolin's increased part and role in the story since book 1. That sent a cascading effect through the outlines, but I was very well outlined by the time we got here that Adolin was going to do his whole thing that happened in here. The existence of the Unoath was not in the original outlines. It's a completely new thing. But I rebuilt those outlines in the years intervening, so you will find them in the outlines and whatnot. The big change that I made when I was working on this book specifically is Zeph was going to die, and so why did it not work? Well, Zeph was going to be consumed at the end by Nightblood. He was going to let himself be consumed in a way that was kind of like a suicide in order to kind of spit in the face of what's going on and refuse what was happening to him. And as I worked on the outline and I worked on who he was, I'm like, Zeth, of all the characters, can't be the person who doesn't take the next step. The whole theme of take the next step, I'm like, I cannot have, even though it wasn't a full suicide, I couldn't have a heroic suicide at the end of Stormlight 5, even if it was only a sideways one. I realized during outlining, and this would actually
Isn't that kind of Dalinar?
Yeah, I
Kind
was
of a
gonna
heroic
say
suicide. Kind of
two heroic suicides. He means
No, here's the
Oh,
thing.
no. What is happening?
Dalinar, Zeth still had that shoddy that he had to get back to.
yeah.
Dalinar
Scott,
had
you're
his
frozen. Are you
time.
there?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
It froze for me for a second. What did you say about Zeth?
Oh, Zeth
Or what'd you
still
say?
had to get married and have a relationship with a hottie.
Well, I imagine that came
Dalinar.
later.
No. Zeth has been wanting this all along. Didn't you read the flashbacks?
It kind of makes a lot of sense because like I feel like it would be a bit weird if Kaladin lost the brother figure twice.
Who's the other brother figure?
His actual
Yeah.
brother.
Oh, I mean,
Because like that was a point where he realizes how to connect with Seth. He's like, "Oh, you're my brother."
that's true, but he's had like brother figures the whole time, you know.
Yeah, the whole
He's
bridge
had
is
little
his brother.
TNs, yeah.
Sure.
So,
Bridge TN.
yeah.
But not specifically.
But you're right in that that's what made the difference in their relationship is when you understood it that way. Next question. Anyone else sipping a tall glass of ice water?
Got some iced milk, Scott? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, it's water.
That
Can
was
I
100%
Can I
what
get? Let's go, Kyle, then Reader, then Scott, then Irving. Something is happening with my internet.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now, Reader.
Hello, I am talking.
I can hear you.
Da, 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 da. Char.
My-
Reader's there.
Yeah, Elokar is also a TN. Everyone's a TN.
If you talk to Kaladin, you are.
Oh
TN.
yeah.
TN's about.
Are we-
Irving's here.
Oh my goodness. This is my favorite topic in the world, and the internet is killing me right now. Carson, yes. Elokar is TN. This is my favorite joke.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, when he's like, "Oh, should I like be with Moash and wanting to kill him or not?" He's like, "No, Elokar is like
Dalinar's
TN."
TN.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
in Words of Radiance.
yeah.
It said it's saying ROW, and I was like, wait a
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
What are
he
you talking about Elokar in?
Yeah, he
Die
corrects
Hard.
himself in the next one.
Yeah, you're right, Carson. He does refer to him as Dalinar's.
Because that's the only way that Kaladin knows how to relate to anybody is
Correct.
through TN. All right. I didn't
We
actually
missed my
get to hear y'all's
question.
thoughts. Do you
swear.
think that isn't what Dalinar did basically a heroic suicide functionally?
Yeah.
Functionally.
But also
I
not.
think there's a difference in like sort of age and emotional space for the characters that
Yeah.
does make it different.
Okay.
Which is the
Okay.
point I
It's a
was
heroic
making.
sacrifice.
Like
I
Zeth
guess.
had a lot of life left to live, and Dalinar didn't.
Yeah.
But
And there's
also, Dalinar's soul is still around, taken by something. So it's not really a suicide.
He's baking bread with Noadon. Have we
He's
not talked
baking
about
bread.
this, Scott?
Huh? No.
No, legitimately, this is where I think he is. I think he's
Yeah, no, me
Because-
too.
Because okay, good. Because Odium sees him taken to the beyond, but that's
Yeah.
Odium's perspective.
Huh.
We just know he disappeared.
That
off
girl
into
don't know
the-
nothing. Podium's digging it.
He truly does not.
A secret
Anyway.
fourth realm. The
The
bakery.
bread realm.
Yeah.
Is
The
fourth
Underdark.
round kind of like fourth meal served at Taco Bell?
I love that. So Emily was joking, but she walked in a minute ago because she was going to sit with us, and that was when everything stopped working. And she left like 25 seconds ago when everything started working again.
She had like 5 phones in her pocket.
I don't know. It was pretty strange. But
Are
all
we
right, we'll
gonna
keep
stop
listening.
every time that we want to talk? Because I'm not in.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah.
And
What do you think? Is this some kind of a reaction where we like hear things and then we talk about them?
I thought it was a live stream.
I feel like that
Beta
last
reader,
one blows our minds.
pushed me on this. Not that in any version did they read the Zeth die, but he fully renounced in an early version the Skybreakers. And one of the beta readers, I'll not out them because, I don't want people going to the beta readers and be like, you changed what I would have liked. Pointed out that isn't it stronger if Zeth works to rehabilitate the Skybreakers rather than just renouncing them completely? And that's what Zeth would do. It wasn't something that I had been thinking about because I had been thinking about Zeth dying until I got to the outline for this book. And then I'm like, it's not right. So there's not a scene written ever where he did that. By the time
Yeah, I
was
don't think you
working on
can
the outlines
increase
with
the
this
speed
book,
of a live stream.
but you've got to remember, like, these outlines stretch back 15 years
Maybe
at
you
this
can skip,
point,
like,
and I have a
a few
much
seconds ahead or
better
something.
understanding of mental health and things like this. And
You
as
just
soon
use
as I
admin over this guy.
the initial outlining, I'm like, wow,
Why don't I
this
up here
is a
now?
terrible idea. And
You'll see in a second.
you will see that in your early outlines because
Oh.
you've grown so much as a writer and your characters have grown so much where you're like, What was I thinking by having?
If you'd like to join the shard of
essentially
just
give himself up,
need
give up,
to
and
use the
get
QR
consumed by
code that's
Nightblood
covering
at the
Scott's
end
face
of
at the
this book.
moment.
We do have someone who doesn't have their camera on that we could have done up there.
That is valid.
That would be smart, but not petty.
Oh, CJ's gone. Hoisted by his own petard.
Emily walked back into the room.
I guess so.
You're just trying to silence me, Scott. I see how it is.
No, I'm trying to. What's the word?
That, in
Not
regards to what
silence, but
what's really going on is as you're writing, you are making
trying
connections
to cover you up.
with characters better. You're getting to understand the themes better. Almost no one ends up exactly where you imagine them, but I tend to be more on target than most writers, I would say. Like if you look at the end, Way of Kings is a cheat because I knew I'd written Way of Kings before and I knew what I'd written wrong. But if you look at like the entire growth of the Stormlight Archive, it's obviously Adolin, right? Everyone else basically ended up where I had imagined they would at the end in some shape or another. But then we did just change. We did just change Zeth. So, yeah. I did see a question here. What is 7-layer freefall burrito world? So on the podcast, I once discussed with Dan this idea I had for a world where everybody was always in free fall, that there were continents falling through an endless hole.
Any objection to skipping ahead a little bit
And
past
so
Burrito Fall
and
World?
it was like
No.
above each other, stacked above.
Okay,
and you
Scott.
could step out of the windshield and and essentially be blown upward to others. You could skydive alongside them. You could dive without any
And this
sort
is
of
a Cosmere story?
things.
I think so, yeah.
Similar to
Yeah.
the
No, I mean, it was like just a
the
story
terminal
idea.
velocity of a human
Yeah,
being.
But then it's been in the.
You knew how to manipulate that.
Sanderson
Essentially
for years.
wingsuit upward or dive downward. And Dan named it 7-layer freefall burrito world because you fall through the different layers of the burrito.
And it really just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't say, dip. It feels like chip dip,
Dip world.
Dip world, but he called it free fall 7-layer burrito world. So, yeah.
There was a related question to the first one from Page Runner from Roberto Serrano, 2003. They say, what was the difference between the epilogue you wrote in Wind and Truth over a decade ago that went unused due to timing issues with the epilogue in the published version?
Okay. So epilogue in the published version was very similar, except Wit was on Roshar.
Oh.
And I realized, and this is one of these things, this is another thing that happens to you when you're working on books. Like you don't always see the conundrums until you're in the thick of it. That conundrum was there. Roshar getting stuck in time dilation and Wit ending at the end on Roshar, just and kind of morose, the same sort of morose feeling that you get from it. He's like, it's gone wrong. I've messed up again, right? It's essentially where Wit is. He's like, I have screwed this up again. I tried really hard this time and I messed up, and he was on Roshar. I had to get him off Roshar in order to get around time dilation timing issues. And that I actually started making that revision in Oathbringer. I was aware of this conundrum by Oathbringer.
CJ, I'm willing to have us
I
skip
don't
forward
think
to
it made it in
live
Oathbringer.
because now I'm just reading all these comments.
So
And I'm just
my
like-
original thought was to have seeding, him leaving.
We'll wait for
some of his,
something less
getting
spicy.
some,
This is
some
good.
cultures
This is good.
This is
off
good,
world of himself to try this out, and I don't think it ended up happening. I was gonna send some with Rock, but I didn't ever write the Rock novella in time.
Here
And
it is.
so, but by Oathbringer, I was aware of this and working on, all right, he's going to have to get off. And I mean, Odium would vaporize him the moment that he found him anyway. And so it ended up working out really well. The other big revision is a lot of my editors and many of the beta readers were really worried about how downer of an ending Wind and Truth was, particularly the editors. This wasn't the beta readers as much. This was the editors. And this is, Tor and Galance. And I'm like, it's a downer of an ending, I know. I can maybe give Wit a little of an upbeat turn. And so the epilogue changed just a tad as I had him do something I wasn't planning for anyone to do until the back five has realized Dalinar made a decision that nobody was expecting, but that is maybe the best decision he could have, even if you think it through. At first, it seems like a pretty terrible one, but having Wit acknowledge, okay, this is good. This will work, and so that's the other big tweak to the epilogue. Otherwise, it's the same epilogue, so it's very similar. It's just a location change and then a little tweak of it being more upbeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question from the Reddit thread says,
Tyler, by the way, Rock did leave Roshar. He's off Roshar by the beginning of Wind and Truth.
What?
What?
Yeah.
You know that because we've already foreshadowed.
No, we don't.
Them being met. Who meets them?
Right. Yeah.
Milan meets them at the end of.
No, she doesn't. Doesn't she meet a
Yeah, she
Shodell?
does. Yeah, with the Shodell.
Right. Yeah. So
That
that
turns into a Shodell?
With red-haired people. It's
Yeah,
a Shodell with red-haired people at the cockpit.
No, the Shodell is like taking her through the mist or whatever, and they see standing.
Oh, sure.
On solid ground, a bunch of red-haired people in the distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're like horn eaters, and so I guess he's right.
I've never.
Some of you people are like horn eaters. I had no idea.
A lot of people, yeah, I've heard that theory for a while. I wasn't quite ready to go. I'm hearing a buzzing sound. Does anybody else hear a buzzing sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got worse when you got closer to the microphone.
I'll
Do you think
mute,
it's
see
me?
if it's me.
I don't know. No, I think it was Matthew. When he muted, it went away.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
the Horn Eaters have left. Milan was there. We've seen them. So the
Blew a lot of people's.
oh yeah, they hadn't seen
I
that.
had no
Yeah.
idea this is a thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's there at the back of that one. So Milan meets Rock. Yes.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought you guys had figured that out by now.
Welcome to the spoiler stream.
No, was it Milan? Milan met Shodell. No, she met Rock.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
I love how Brandon's having
Yeah.
the same conversation we just
Yeah.
had.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Brandon,
pretty
turn
sure I
around, grab
put
the
that in.
book off the shelf.
Maybe I just let the surprises I'm concerned. So Argent, you did know that, right? You guys had already guessed that.
The surprises that you work.
Yeah. She says redheads. Okay. Yeah. So you guys did know that.
People can have
Milan
red
met the
hair.
redheads. Milan met the Horn Eaters.
No,
So-
they can't.
Right there, you overestimate.
Just like Iriali.
So
Anyone blonde is Iriali
Yeah,
in the entire
I mean,
cosmere.
I remember reading that everybody guessed it. And so
This is just how
so
Brandon
yeah.
introduced
So there you are. So don't spread that too much to the people who don't want to have spoilers, because that's definitely part of the Rock novella. But yeah, so there you are. No more Horn Eaters. They have well, not all. There's definitely some left behind, but Horn Eater exodus off of Roshar has happened by now.
Oh my gosh. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and Milan was there meeting with Rock. They needed a little help. They were kind of lost. It's easy to get lost in Shadesmar.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Next Reddit question. It
Yes.
says, now that there are no Mistborn in the Mistborn series and there's no Stormlight in the Stormlight
Yep.
series, should we expect the city of Elantris to be destroyed next?
That's a good question.
Well,
Get a wrap
I'll have Jack write
ye-
Rafa in the
yeah,
chat.
you shouldn't expect the. I didn't imagine this was the theme. So yeah, there we are.
oh, he's destroying Elantris.
Milan, no
that,
Milan
that
in the
was
Horn Eater,
absolutely the
novella.
Brandon plans to
Um,
destroy Elantris answer.
yeah.
I mean, the vision's in now. The vision's in Wind and
Okay,
Truth.
they might not be fully off of Roshar, So I think what's going to happen for the time dilation is anyway. There's going to be weird things where they've gotten caught in some of the time dilation. We'll figure it out in the timeline, but yeah, they are. Yeah, that was the Horn Eaters. So
sounds like a problem for Karen in the future.
Yeah, problem for Karen in the future. Are there Mistborn? Well, they're like someone says, are there Mistborn? Well, there is no more Warbreaker in Warbreaker because he's gone. You're right. There is no, so Warbreaker has left Warbreaker. The truth is there are some Mistborn.
There's no fear of being a named character in the Cosmic. There's
no Six of the Dusk and Six of the Dusk.
Marsh still counts.
There's no Six of the Dusk anymore.
Marsh still counts. Other than that, like I guess if you don't count hemalurgically made Mistborn, there aren't any.
Sunlit Man is no longer there.
It's very, very difficult, and there aren't any right now, but it's possible. What is going on in the naming scheme right now? Wow, there's wow. I did it to 3 of the 4 Cosmere series. There's still a Yumi and the Nightmare Painter
There are no more nightmares and Yumis.
There's no more nightmares in Yumi. Yeah. Okay. There's still an
Elantris.
There's still an Emerald Sea. There's no more zombies in Elantris.
But
There's still a Tress
turning
and an
there
Emerald
would be
Sea.
no more Tress.
Yeah.
Like I think this is why people are worried.
Maybe she started going by Glorf, and then
There's no Sunlit Man
Maybe
and Sunlit Man
raised her
anymore.
heritage.
There is an Emperor's Soul. No, there's not. He's dead.
Max is a Mistborn.
No, he survived.
Oh, he survived at the end, right?
So there you go. Wax is Mistborn, Hoyt is Mistborn. They both had Lerasian beads. So as long as Hoyt is there and Wax is still around, you still have Mistborn. And Wax kind of knows, but he doesn't tell anybody. So
Very nice name 16 says, in Emberdark, we're told that the only way to go to a planet without a perpendicularity is to use an FTL ship.
yes.
And in Sunlit, Sigil says that methods to get to planets without perpendicularities are very recent.
Yes.
Why can't you just use transportation to go from the cognitive to the physical?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So you'll find out more about that when we get there. When we get to the back 5 and we talk about it. You should but how should we say? There's a couple things going on there. Obviously, Hoyd does it. So it is possible to do, right?
Is it obvious
we will find
Hoyd
out,
does it?
And in these cases, most people they're mostly talking about like large scale.
Iron Way Station 7.
The person
yeah, at
wants
least
to go
one
there, they can. And we will get to why transportation is an option. That doesn't mean an individual couldn't figure out how to get onto. Oh, yes, I forgot about the Ghostblood Kelsier, who's totally a Mistborn. Totally hasn't lost all his powers. So just understand that it is possible. They're both kind of wrong, but if you're talking in general terms, there are very, very rare exceptions without FTL. And I mean, one of those exceptions is to just bring a whole how do I say this as Brandon, a whole metric strawberry ton of investiture with you, and that will puncture into the physical realm from
Doing anything not to curse.
so it's harder to go from cognitive to physical. If you have that in physical, it happens automatically. Much harder to do, but yeah, it happens very naturally in physical. So if you can put a messenger together in the physical realm, it will make a hole so that you could get through. So there's ways.
Have you guys mapped?
Oh, sorry. Reader was very quiet, not the video.
System?
Yes, Isaac has, but I don't know if we're going to release that.
No, that was just a curiosity question.
Yeah. So, and I have announced this before. This is a more nuanced question than I've answered before on this.
Mm-hmm.
But transportation, most forms of teleportation in the Cosmere work at the speed of light.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look that up.
Transportation works at the speed of light. So else calling, else gates work at speed of light. Span reads work at speed of light. Most of your uses are speed of light. So
Interesting.
Wait, all
So
skates,
there are a few
all
ways
skates work
around
at the speed
light.
of light. How long did it take them to
And-
get
Do you mind if I
From
interrupt
Ashen to-
questions? Sorry.
So not all
I mean,
of them
immediately.
do, but they many do. Is what
Okay,
he
I
was
thought he
saying.
specifically just said L skates do.
I think I read something recently that he was talking about how that's the default, but then you can do special things to get around it. So like L skates with a lowercase e, but the capital E L skate that went from Ashen to Roshar, maybe not. But also maybe
I mean, it was immediate.
it's close enough that it's like, I don't know.
I mean, like the planet's visible from their solar system, so I assume or like it's in the same
Yeah.
solar system. Earth, it takes 8 minutes. You gotta assume it maybe is like 4 to 5, but still being in that tunnel for 4 to 5 minutes could be weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of the description I saw, was that like the tunnel gets longer basically to account for
Or maybe there's just
like
a delay when you
speed
step
of
in
light.
and step out.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah.
lectures in the RPG to else call. It's you just spend one investiture from the physical realm to the cognitive realm, and there's no skill test. But to get from the cognitive back to the physical, it's a DC 20 transportations test, and then on success, it's 2 investiture. So yeah, it is harder to get back. Just like he said. Now, good job remembering that connection, because he just gave us the lore reasons and implications.
Chad,
Oh no.
there's something that I wanted to give Brandon for a while.
Oh dear. Is this a gift for me?
This
for
is a
birthday?
gift for you.
Okay.
I totally spaced it, and I looked down. I was like, oh yeah, I need.
And
Yeah, skip it.
I am Melania Blade of Mikola. All right. Yeah.
Elden Ring
And
gift.
I've never
Love it,
known
love
defeat.
it.
Is that what she says? Could beat her again at one hit with no hit. And I'm just like, the level I was doing it, but there you go. All right.
Whoa.
So that's a cool 7. My old one's a Z Fold 2. It worked.
Don't forget your phone,
Even
Brandon.
when you close it, it sounds.
I'm still in love with my phone, and Emily got me that becomes less and less to perform certain acts, and that allows you to accomplish things by itself
Still
that
talking about his phone.
are pretty cool.
I hope
Um,
not.
Like
I
a
hope
little
this is
teaser, I think
This is Cosmere.
Kaladin could reach
Okay.
the moons.
Mhm.
Just they're pretty close orbit, but he could reach the moons by now just with Stormlight he could carry pretty easily.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be
Dang.
And what's on the moons, Brandon?
We don't have
Jeez.
Starlight anymore. That is correct.
Paladin moon landing is a hoax.
Unfortunately, there is no Stormlight. So, when are you playing Expedition 33? Here's
I want to be clear. The way that man just said that, there's Stormlight. Someone has Stormlight. That was the most nonsense way to be like, there is no Stormlight, as you all know. Nope. Stormlight.
Well, supposedly the heralds can infuse themselves, can't they?
Well, they're infused from the spiritual realm, but it would be Stormlight. It would be invested.
Yeah,
like,
pure
investiture.
investy.
But my theory on that is the perfect gemstones would still have theirs, just like
Yeah.
the thrill is stuck inside of a perfect gemstone.
Yeah.
Or they
But-
can just take Tower Light and split it in half, can't they?
Maybe.
so,
That's
but
my thought.
The lady who knows how to do that is unfortunately currently comatose.
Yeah.
Well,
they,
all
uh,
of,
they-
no,
they
no,
look
they've
like one-
brought her work out. Like they have anti-light available for people to make, and that's
But
the
you wrote
same
a book.
principle.
It's the same principle, but it doesn't mean that they know the tower light split, right?
It's true. And there was only like 10
Necessarily.
days. Or,
Enough for them to have a bunch of anti-light daggers running around in that book.
that's true. All right.
Also,
I'm with Irving.
Vasher made anti-light back when Gavilar was still messing around. So what's that SOB up to? You're
Yeah.
welcome, CJ.
He's going on a training montage with Lyft. What are you talking about? Do you think?
He
Hey,
has
Scott.
secrets.
Hey Scott,
What?
do you think in their training montage they'll
No.
get some weights and they'll lift?
God. CJ,
Oh, I'm fine with that one. I
might
thought
be
you were
a little
gonna.
less heart rippy outy. I bet there's some heart rippy outy in both, but I feel like that. I just get the feeling. Yeah. So, yeah.
Stormlight Smash from Reddit says, is Renarin's living blade an alloy of 3 god metals because Gliss is an enlightened spren?
Ooh.
We're gonna raffle that.
One of
We're
these
gonna raffle.
answers.
We'll
That was
get
a great
into
question.
what's going on with that. But that is a pretty valid theory. Yes.
Where's the
Joff,
second?
what's
Where's
that?
cultivation
Are
coming
the
in?
shades on Thrinity made of negative investment?
All of the honor
Shades of
Mike's
Trinity
Radiant
made-
are a blend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Josh is getting an answer right now. Jafu.
Ooh.
Are
All
the
right.
shades on Threnody negative investiture?
Negative investiture. So the shades are not, but the evil is.
Right.
Right.
Ooh.
So
Which is what we learned in
shades
Emberdark,
are-
right? That
Shades
the evil was.
are a different thing, and they are not what would be considered negative investiture. Yeah. Potential Cosmere video games, Sadie. So here, while I would love to tell a new story,
I'm
I
working on
think
one.
marketability and for people wanting to play the game, I think if we make a Mistborn game, my goal would be to make the story of Book 1 expanded as a game.
Seems like the best one. Things go
yeah,
off the rails after
basically
that.
that. I imagine it is a single player
I've got
story driven RPG
two
that
versions.
if you
The
know
Final Fire one is
I don't know
Survivor,
if
which is just the Kelsier
Reader,
story.
what are you saying? What's going on?
Warrior, which is Vin's story. So you kind of play the same time setting twice, but from the two different characters instead of jumping around between them.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
character like not
I clicked backwards, so I'm gonna try to find this.
being able to play as Vin, learning how to use allomancy. Like I think these are just I think it is a better idea to just do there. And there's some really good games that have done this, right? Like, but I know where you're getting this. I didn't love Hollow Knight because I kept wanting to use the control scheme of Elden Ring and Dark style this game so much, and I've got muscle memory.
You're right.
Yes.
Cannot be used.
Is there a game mechanic like that system that you think would be a good match for something like Mistborn? I don't know if you've gotten that granular.
Yeah. So here's with this, and have stopped working as well. I don't like meaningless collectathons. I do like collectathons. Don't get me wrong. I like collecting stuff, but I feel like they maybe went too far, and I don't like quick time events. And those became like, I think it might be the Uncharted influence, mashing these things together. I feel like Ubisoft has also kind of run this into the ground. So the question is, what could we do new with that sort of system, or do we have to do something else completely different? Do we have to go to more of I don't know. It feels like that would fit so well because you really don't want to have anything more than the one city, but you want to have a really nice version of the city, like in the Spider-Man games. Who made those?
That would be
Insomniac. Yeah, Insomniac's Spider-Man games, which are really good. Even playing as Mary Jane wasn't as fun, but are really the really good games. So there we are.
I'm curious, just to follow up on that. Are you thinking more like Arkham Knight, or I should really say like Arkham Asylum from Rocksteady, or similar-ish?
Well, yes, except remember one of my big holes in my love of video games is I do not like stealth.
Yes.
I don't have as much fun with most stealth mechanics.
Yep.
And so while I played through the first two of the Arkham games and really liked them, there was just a bit too much stealthing for me.
Gotcha.
So that's why I've never played the Metal Gear games.
There was an interesting question in the chat.
That's
Someone
a
was asking
solid choice.
the difference between negative investiture and anti-investiture.
Yeah.
Yes!
Let's let the Arcanus. So what we're calling negative investiture is almost all exclusively a warping of the death of ambition. Anti-investiture is a very, very similar thing, but it is man-made.
Okay.
Right? And they have similar functions. But the negative investiture is mostly self-aware in a very weird way, in a non and the negative investiture built, or the anti-investiture built by Yasna things, it is functionally the same, but not Yasna, Navani, is functionally the same, but not self-aware, not necessarily from ambition. And that's the distinction in my mind right now, but we'll let the Arcanist drill down on me. Oh, there's Argent flipping out. Yeah, he might have a different definition for it, and he may be the team of Arcanists might convince me that I should use a different definition. So,
for me, I just know we've reached smile and nod.
Smile and could humans
Argent
and
says,
dragons
"I
have
thought
mixed,
they were the
species
same."
offspring? In fact,
Okay.
dragons in the Cosmere, the Yolan dragons
that means I'm gonna
only
get
reproduce in human form.
Podcast episode.
So they can reproduce other dragons in human form. Like, they don't consider themselves, like, when they're in human forms, they're not masquerading as humans. They are like amphibians, except they can transfer back and forth.
Gotcha.
That is one of their forms. And they are anatomically human and can have children with humans. So the children who are born are dragons.
So Lift is half dragon.
So
Tara says, at what point does a listener/human hybrid lose forms? If someone is one half listener, do they have forms?
we'll raffo on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely raffo on that. It's an excellent question, but I don't want to canonize anything right now, even though what I say here is not 100% canon. Keep that in mind. So yeah.
Another from the Reddit thread, can anti-breaths be created? If so, what would happen to a drab who receives an anti-breath? Would they return to a quote-unquote normal state?
Wow. Anti-breaths could be created. Anti-breaths touching real investiture would have explosive ramifications. I don't think you would get what you want out of that. But good question. Let's take some from the chat for a little while. Let's see. We expect to be barbecue. Yeah, you could expect to see barbecue. In fact, there are things that you would eat there right now that you might consider barbecue like.
Are we back to this? Their pizza on Roshar?
Same vessel. What would the name be? There would
whimsy
be
invention.
dozens of options. I'll let you theorize on what they could be. Can I?
I feel like Scott questions.
I need the scroller.
Let me grab you one.
So because I need to be able to pause.
Yeah,
The only question that I have asked
So I just
Brandon,
need
and
to-
I asked it
All right.
twice, was
this doesn't do anything.
Vax? That
Yeah.
was before Ember Dark. I haven't asked it
Is
since.
Nightblood
Yes.
native anti-investor? Raffo. If someone has a spike granting an allomantic power, you can probably just do it like that yourself. Well, burning Larasia, would that
think
spike
Bolt wants to
block
join.
Larasia for being specific? Okay, someone has a human spike granting. No, this isn't Shadow Bowser King. How I imagine it work. If someone has a hemalurgic spike granting a power and they took while burning Larasium, they would just
Hey, Kate.
attach that power
Finally
to
got
their
home.
soul, and then
Yay.
not remove. They would only remove the part that the hemalurgy had given. What was the scene that was 20 years in the making? There were a lot of them in that book. And I'm trying to remember which tweet I was talking about
We've
when
had
it was
many discussions.
when it was 20 years in the making, and I can't remember what I was writing when I did that. The things that I knew were the final confrontation. Though I did, as you guys all know, age up Gavinor, so that it wasn't just a baby. The only real choices were Gavinor and a random child that Dalinar didn't know.
Two
Which
R's.
actually, in some ways, would be more appropriate, and things like that. But
One R, two L's, one L.
So
Stop it! Stop it! Leave me alone.
Another E.
the Adolin, it could have been Adolin. That's an option. I never seriously considered. Well, I did consider it, but it was never any part of the outline. It could have been Adolin. I worried about what that would do for the things I'm planning for a second half now. But that's a valid choice for those who would have thought it could be Adolin. I think you had a good thought. It would fit the prophecies, and it would match.
I love my Adolin.
Was Shauna being at Shalon's wedding always part of the plan? Was that why you skipped over an Oathbringer? That isn't why I skipped over an Oathbringer, though it was always part of the plan. I skipped over an Oathbringer because I worried I was doing too many scenes that felt similar, and I wanted to save that scene for later when it would have more impact. It felt like too big. It's so hard. This is like a vibes thing. When I'm writing it, and I'm like, I feel like this scene to have the emotional weight I want it to won't fit here in the pacing. So let's save it and put it in a different place. Is Hoyt a ghost blood? No. You. Oh,
2 monitors.
Oh, I'm not used to 2.
Go to the right.
Not used to 2 monitors.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can win that argument. Hoyt is not a ghost blood. Is Dalinar really dead? Yes, Dalinar is really dead. I'm sorry.
Dalinar is really dead, and there's no Stormlight.
Yeah.
It's okay. He
Dalinar
was just my favorite.
And no
Dalinar is
Mistborn.
really dead.
As long as Adolin lives, that's all I
Dalinar
care
is
about.
dead.
Everyone else can
Like,
go.
They're all dead. Not like Kelsier was dead.
Oh, so like that.
I guess also his babies should
Yeah.
stay.
So yeah. Now it depends on what you think of life after death. So,
Life comes before.
yeah. Do you have plans for stories that expand the Ariali? Yes, I do. Will I get to them?
Ooh.
No.
Someone tell Doug.
Well, who are the planets in the Cosmere named after? Cosmere planets mostly are named after
Good question, CJ.
a lot.
Why
of
isn't there a
different things.
Jofflu planet yet?
A lot of them are named by people who were mapping the Cosmere and were able to get some sort of knowledge of them. Like Roshar is named that because that's what it's called by the people who live there. And
come on.
same with Scad got its name partially in a slightly different way. But again, it's involved the first contact and what do we call this? A lot of places call their planet in their language just the planet. Like Earth just means
Is that what
ground.
Roshar means
And
then?
so you can imagine that a lot of
Well,
these
that would
words
make
are
sense.
similar things like that from a dominant culture on the planet. Do shades need a form of connection to speak different languages? Yes, but it is pretty easy for them to do. Was autonomy's intent changed after fighting Dominion? Is there any Dominion bit to autonomy? Autonomy always had a bit of the vessel always had a bit of a Dominion-ish feel, and so yes, but it's not from the fight specifically. RL Towers game. People have asked for this. I'm not convinced that I can make
is
it.
it?
Happen, but
Towers.
From
How many times did Rashik fall in love? Raffo.
No!
Come on.
Did you fall in love? Rash?
Rashik.
Yeah. Sort of things on Scadrill that I would say gave him the idea.
Because
When the history of the Arelli arrive, we'll on Roshar. We'll keep that as a Raffo.
Gotta love our Raffos.
The Lord Ruler has very strong elemency. Does he achieve this by compounding ferrochemical Nigrosil? I'm going to Raffo this like you're going to see me do with a lot of Nigrosil questions. The Lord Ruler's elemency was not just due to a bead of Lerasium. How about that?
Okay.
Do dead Sharpblades look different from living ones? You can figure it out pretty easily. Dead Sharpblades were mostly frozen in a showy form. Certainly that's part of it, but do they look different? Not to the casual observer. How about that? But there are distinctions you can figure out. Thoughts on the Cosmere being an animated series like Critical Role is doing? I mean, Critical Role and Arcane are doing a lot of great work in making animation more viable as a medium for serious storytelling aimed at adults. I don't know if we're there yet. And now the only reason I know that is, I say that is, I can't get the budgets for it. I can get the budgets for live action. I cannot get the budgets for animation. Now, Critical Role, they are kickstarting theirs. Am I right?
They're kickstarting it and have multiple sponsors.
But they also have
They only kickstarted once.
I think the fact that they get voice actors built in and the voice actors are a selling point makes those investors a lot less scared. And of course, Arcane, League of Legends just footed a bunch of the bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I can't get those budgets. So if you know people at studios who think that they could give me the budgets to make something of the quality of the two shows you mentioned, then it is absolutely something that I would seriously consider. But
reference, talent is often 10 to 20% of budget.
Yeah.
Look at people's contracts. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, well, and beyond that, it's not just the talent. The talent is already signed, and the best talent they could possibly get. Right?
Exactly.
Because they are the creators.
The selling point.
And that selling point makes, I would, if I were an investor and I were looking at Mistborn or that, I would instantly pick that instead.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the voice actors are already there. And they're
not using them would be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I anyway, is it something I consider? Yes, but there's my thoughts. With Scandries expanding into the costume area, will we see interactions between Hemalurgy and AVR? Yes. Yeah, you could see interactions between Hemalurgy and the AVR. It would be terrible. It would be terrible, but you could definitely see interactions.
I mean, you're just
bound to.
You're just stealing from a bird.
You just stab birds into your body with.
I think the idea is like forcibly bonding.
How did Yashar find the Well of Control? Bravo. Call Henry. Henry's busy. He's making cool Warhammer stuff. Henry has a lot on his plate right now. Did the original Zellion have significant ties to the Shard of Invention? Raffo. How did the Fuse get Lifelight from Lift? How did the Fuse get the Lifelight from Lift? I'm not sure what you're 100% referencing on there. Like, how did they get it out of her? Because you can just use the same things that would get you would get Stormlight. Everything else out would work. How's Jello? Jello's doing fine. He lives with his trainers most of the time. And they have other large birds. He is way happier with other large birds. So I don't see him as much as I would like, but he is super happy. And so, macaws are a little harder in that regard than like lovebirds. I just would have bought another lovebird if I would have gotten a bird that was as lonely as Jello seemed. Even though he was right in the main room with all of us, he was just lonely. You can buy another lovebird. But you can't buy another macaw. Like I couldn't spend the time with two macaws that they would need. And so yeah, Jello is great, but he lives most of the time with the trainer.
Comment. I'm going to be right.
I didn't know he'd given up his bird.
Oh,
to
okay.
fund your animation, I'm assuming is what.
Yeah. Once you own your animation,
I have a question. Do we know what Lyft is doing right now as far as being able to burn infrastructure and stuff?
Studio exec right here.
Training with Asher.
Yeah,
What?
she Lifelight from eating food. She can still burn calories for investiture.
That's what I thought.
And
I
they
have
are
a question I
related
might ask, but I wanted to check before I.
Yeah. There's just some similar linguistic things in there. When will Koloss be in Fortnite again? Donald.
No comments.
Yeah. Raffo. Yeah, well, it's a Raffo in that Papa Fortnite doesn't work at Fortnite anymore. And so Donald's father doesn't work there anymore.
Oh.
He has moved on to doing other things. And though we all still have very good contacts and we love the people over at Epic Games, and Tim Sweeney has done me multiple solids in my life. So I understand that people like to complain about Tim Sweeney. He does have a different take on AI art than perhaps I have, but he's done me some solids. So he's all right in my book. Aona and Skay, ever a couple? Well, Raffo. Come on. How likely will we see Retribution make his own heralds? Raffo. How likely, though? I'd say that there is a chance of this. For sure, there's a percentage chance. How likely is it? Will Raffo. Ralorum was initially planned setting for book 4. Which plot lines was Ralorum? So the invasion of Urithiru was going to be an invasion of Ralorum, and Kaladin there behind the scenes working. And Navani and Raboniel was all happening there. I just didn't feel right with how much I had to do with the world building in that one. And that was like my big, I'm doing a whole bunch of science world building that I didn't want to throw an entire new setting at you as well. I kept it.
Always like give it to the Stonewalker campaign. Spoilers.
Significantly disappearance of reason? I wouldn't say so, but who knows? I would not say so. Which language in the cosmos is closest to the English language? No idea. Not a linguist. So they're all very different. You said about 4 years ago. Oh, I missed. I
might have seen it.
Let's see. This doesn't actually stop it. Well, no, I didn't scroll it. I touched it and it just moved.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What's that? I said 4 years ago that only one vessel is a dragon. Yeah, I think I was just wrong. I know at least. I know at least there are 2 dragon vessels. There are not more. So I think I was just. I don't know what I was doing. There's 2 dragon vessels. So that's just a Brandon brain fart.
Not sure if you wanted the same question because they don't know where you're.
Yes, the same. So
sorry.
Metal Antorius.
You read the question, Adam.
Yeah. What do we get a book about the pancake-shaped people that only speak in flatulence? Wrong book series, my friend. No, wrong. No, you will not get about the pancake-shaped people that only speak in flatulence. But you can, We'll leave it to you whether Hoyd was joking or not about that. With the insane amount of writing that you do
trying to ask my question.
So not as much as I think a lot of other.
I just got told not to spam the question over and over again.
Yeah, you were spamming a lot, reader.
I got copy paste abilities, man.
All of my student submissions for classes, and those are all together pretty sizable chunk of reading.
And I feel you, Brandon.
And 2 of the books of the Lord of the Rings this year. So, and I started a bunch of others. I got like 10% into a bunch of unpublished books to look at what I would blurb. Basically, for me is there's only 2 modes. Either I finish it and I give it an enthusiastic blurb, or I don't ever mention what it is that I read and put aside, unless it's like some major author that my voice won't cause any problems to, right? Like I don't make
the grand apparatus.
I don't feel bad saying, hey, I put down Game of Thrones after the first book because the brutality to Daenerys was too much for me. That's in part because I acknowledge that they are brilliantly written, and I've read a lot of George's other work, and. I listed him as the best writer of currently alive in sci-fi fantasy. I don't mind mentioning things like that, but if I put aside a new book, I'm not a reviewer. You don't come to me for reviews. There's lots of great booktubers and book talkers that will review books honestly for you. My job is if I like something, I'm going to tell you I like it. If I don't like something, I'm just going to stay quiet. So. Can I get a signed copy of Way of Kings? How do I get that? Well, once these are,
we'll send you one right now.
Thanks for asking.
Signed, we will print them.
You activated our trick.
They don't last very long. I'm sorry, but Donald, can I sign one of these for that person? Could you figure out how to get them a copy?
Dude, that's
what?
The comment is Rosetta Garden.
Dude.
Gosh.
Can I get a sign?
I'm gonna start asking.
I'm just gonna sign one for you, and we'll just send you this. I can't do that for anyone else. Otherwise, everyone will ask it. So we'll just
Then don't do it live on a stream, Brandon.
You'll just copy that.
I have it.
And then you can just slip it into your. I mean,
Cool Dito says, "Can I get a
weird
signed
thing to have.
copy of your credit report?"
And if you want the actual print,
You know what? I do want to sign a copy of his credit report.
Usually,
I
I
get a
finish
signed TikTok
signing
session.
like 10,000
Right.
days to put the order in. It takes them like 6.
I'm gonna try. I wonder if I could get that.
Come in.
When I went to Nexus 2 years ago, I was like, I wanted to.
Did Spirit
I
Web
didn't
and
get the chance to ask a
we
question, but I
heavily
wanted to be like
invested?
pointing at the
Relieve
giant banners,
cognitive,
like, hey, can I have one of those?
They used them
My
again.
guess, usually I finish signing like 10,000. Did Spirit Web Entertainment cause Nicaro to be heavily invested? Would leave a cognitive shadow upon death. Nicaro probably is invested enough to leave a cognitive shadow, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to really look at it. He's got some
I saw
residual
that.
effects of a bunch of the stuff he went through. There might be enough clinging to him. Let's see.
Have you ever been to Scotland? Come on, guys.
Night left the planet. Oh man, that the continent, the system. Let's raffle that for now.
Who was that?
Dalinar and Kelsier get along?
I think he read the tail end of my question.
I don't
being
think they would.
wrapped
Young Dalinar?
up. There's a
Yes.
correlation to night leaving.
Adult Dalinar? Probably not. Kelsier is a hard person to get along with unless you buy into him being in charge.
Yeah,
Right?
Dalinar is
Not going to do
definitely
that.
the wrong kind of person
Yeah.
for Kelsier to like him.
Somebody posted the Kelsier and Shallan conversation, and it stood out to me for the first time the way that he just venomously spits Colin, her noble title, at her as the way that he refers to her. He's not like Shallan. He's not, it's just, we have our own problems here, Colin.
Well, yeah, because she's a noble.
I know.
It seems like he's listening to me right now. Is it frozen?
It's paused.
Oh, we paused
He
I can
paused
pause
it.
Oh.
So we can talk, and then we can listen, and then we can
Yeah,
talk.
so how's your day going, Kate?
I am all done.
No, I love y'all so much. No, not really. There's a whole chat you can type to each
No,
other
I'm
if
just
you want to have
kidding.
that conversation.
I'm
If
happy
you
to
buy
be here.
into getting a lot, if you think Kelsier does a good job being in charge, he's going to get along with you, and he can get along with a lot of people. He's a sweet talker, right?
And I'm saying it just from like the noble side of things.
Yeah, the noble side of things, he definitely would not like.
So before you take your next question, I've been instructed to give you one more gift.
Oh, okay.
We don't care, Donald.
Hey,
Oh, that's cute.
Are you a Donald hater, Scott?
I have
I'm a anyone but Brandon hater.
One of our roadhouses.
So I'm really anti-Adam.
Some of your biggest fans.
And have been for many years.
We'll not only give you 20.
Who is Adam?
The guy
The guy on the
screen.
Nice.
Thank you, Texas.
His
I don't care about
brother-in-law.
Giving us a case.
Oh.
What about Dan?
I mean-
He does his Cosmere
I'm
book.
glad I
You gonna
didn't
do
try
that?
for sticks on our steak
I
thing.
don't
I'm
listen
glad I get
to
high rank.
absolute nonsense. What's it called?
That would have been awkward.
2 of these.
Yep.
I did trash the
Intentionally
roll.
Yeah.
But roll.
Cake.
I'm here for Brandon.
Shout out to our local Texas road.
They have good steaks and good burgers. And they have fantastic.
Questions. Come on, Donald. Let
Well,
us
there
know
It's
we
a
what-
are.
spoiler stream.
Thank
Gotta
you.
give him birthday
I'm glad you
presents.
got them.
Do it 2 streams. Why not do
Such a
2?
Please, we all appreciate you, Brandon.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome for the gift card. We
Yeah.
got you.
Dang it. Read mine.
And thank you, Adam. It's okay if you buy me gifts. You're an executive.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Though I have your family for a gift this year,
Ooh.
and you have my family, and so Jane bought us candy. That's been
Captives.
really tasty. Thanks, Donald. So I have enjoyed having the candy. Jane gave us a sugar fina. Is that the name of it? Advent calendar. So you open it up. and
35th.
There's a
Why
little
are they saying 35th?
expensive hoity-toity candy in it every day. 4 pieces.
And they mostly do like gummies, right?
They mostly do gummies and little chews of some of their variety sorts. Some of them have been not a gummy, but more like a really fancy chocolate.
That was always my belief.
really fancy Whopper. So Yeah. Okay. Let's do some more.
Secret Santa amongst your family.
Let's read this one, and then we'll do some more from the Reddit thread.
Sounds good.
Between I Hate Dragons and its extended version, the Cosmere Princess reading at FanX, you seem to want to reuse the idea of magical necks. Will they make a return to the Cosmere? So the Cosmere Princess reading at FanX was I Hate Dragons, same world. And so will they make a return to the Cosmere? If I can find a way to make them not silly. Like they can be a little funny, but they just, they
I have no idea.
It's from the anthology. It's the short. It's a dialogue only short story called "I Hate Dragons."
Got it.
They can't be too far, and that story was too far. So yeah. All right, let's do some more questions from there, and then we'll let this start scrolling naturally, and then
we can rotate.
Can I ask an important question? Okay, Joker Blade, ask your important question. I'm gonna watch for it. Yeah, Donald will watch for it. Yep. Okay.
Just put it in the top of the document.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's all you have to do is just ask for permission.
A while ago, you told us
Joker Blade.
Cosmere was assigned to a shard at the Shattering.
Yes.
That investiture purified of shardic alignment was impossible. Since then, we've seen Dawn Shards, Aethers, the old magic gods on Rashar, Windstone Knight, and purified Door. Are these things all still aligned to shards? Have you changed how this works?
I've tweaked it a little bit. I still imagine it's all aligned to a shard, but it's more in its history. And I've begun letting it be wiped a little bit more and things like that. I do think that, for instance, the old gods were shardic aligned when it happened. They kind of predate the Shattering, but kind of not. If you read Wind and Truth, when you read it, you can kind of figure that out. I'm letting it be wiped of intent, and for all intents and purposes, acting like it is completely wiped. But that's not really 100% possible. Like all investiture came from Adonalcium. Asterix, the Aethers claim that they didn't, right? And therefore, all investors still came from Adonalcium, even if you completely, you wipe away. If you file off if you file off the serial numbers of something, it's still the thing. You just don't recognize it. So that's where I am right now on this. So it's a good question. I could change on this. This is one of those ones that I could change on as things go along, because the Aethers claim they are not derived from Adonalcium.
Paladin has a girlfriend, Elijah Lucero.
Psudo says, can a planet dragon change forms? Does this involve some
No.
It's
happening.
So
unfortunately, do I like it? No. Do I think it should happen? No. Is Brandon going to make it happen? Yes.
Form as well.
What are you talking about?
It's so clear.
I thought it was Shalon's mom.
It's fun.
Huh?
Right now, I have that when they're in dragon form, like they.
I'm talking about still in Kaladin. It's happening. I don't like it, but it's happening.
It hasn't happened yet.
Yes, it has.
Not that
it was
you
happening
know
at the end of Wind and Truth when she became human-sized.
It was happening at the middle of Wind and Truth. You're going to tell me that the best love scene in the Cosmere of them dancing, of him looking at her and thinking,
I know. That's
all
why
I want to do is dance with this woman, is not a love scene? That's a love scene.
It is. Like, that's
can be
why I'm
platonic.
like, it's happening. People are like, no, I don't. And I'm like, I don't like it. I never liked it, but I always knew it was going to be Endgame from book one. It was obvious. Brandon has some romance tells that are very, very obvious because he's not a romance writer. And so the way he writes romance to me is very obvious.
Well, hasn't Brandon stated, like, in very specific examples, like he does not typically write relationships?
No, and that's why I'm saying I can tell certain things because, like, he acknowledges that he doesn't do what is quite normal in romance writing. And so the heavy-handed way he does it is quite obvious to me as a student of romance writing and someone who has worked in that industry. That's why I feel so certain about this Syl thing, even though I don't like it.
Okay. We look forward to the 4-hour video essay where you go through every instance of things that pokes out to you, and you're like, "See, it's obvious."
Yes, I can do that.
All right, thank you.
They still have some anatomy that would care for an infant. This is a thing I could change.
What did we miss?
What did we get back into?
For those of us who were paying attention, the question was, if a dragon is pregnant, can they transform back and forth between human and dragon? And the answer was yes, though they would prefer not to. And they apparently have anatomy that can be used to take care of an infant.
Still have anatomy that would care for an infant. This is a thing I can change. You could read later on. I just put a lock on that a pregnant dragon just is locked into their human form until they give birth. But that's why I have it right now. They do not have, in dragon form, they don't have sexual organs.
Is this like the you can't fly after 6 months being pregnant kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that. But we still haven't had a lot of dragon protagonists and things like that, and so things tweak as I write more characters.
Lacrosse Demon says, now that Odium is retribution, does he have access to the surge of adhesion? Will we see a 10th brand of fused?
He does, and yes, you could see that. So, yeah.
And the final question is, can Yelignar finally grant its host adhesion?
Yes, could. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Windrunner Savant says, why didn't Nightblood cause an explosion or chip?
I guess that's not my username anymore, but I used to have the username Windrunner67, and I was like, Windrunner? Dang it.
You had Windrunner 67?
I did.
Before
it was cool. Before it was cool.
It's never been cool. It has never been cool, CJ.
Windrunner has always been cool. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. All right, we got a Nightblood question. My boy is.
Windrunner Savant says, why didn't Nightblood cause an explosion or chip the honor blades while Zeth was fighting the honor bearers?
Why didn't he cause an explosion or chip? So let's see if I can talk around or if I just have to raffo this. Part of this is awareness on Ishar's part of what happened. Part of this has to do with the same mechanics of why some of the first attempts Raoden made with Aeondor were a little more explosive, reactive than anticipated. And there's some other things happening behind the scenes.
Huh.
So
just want to see the chat. AAKS says, if Hoyd were a blood maker, could he store health, or would that count as hurting himself?
That's crazy.
Oh. Sorry, go ahead. I was just reading the chat, and
you want that one again?
No.
Okay.
You have to do that one. I'm just saying the chat. There's some smart people in chat.
Okay.
There's some smart people in chat. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say.
Used to be called sticky ones.
So I'm going to say. Ask me that question again.
Okay. If Hoyd were a blood maker, could he store health, or would that count as hurting himself?
Could he store health? Would that count as hurting himself? I think he could psychologically his way around it. It'd probably fail the first few times. Whether he could psychologically convince himself that it was largely for preservation purposes, I think he probably could. So
there was a commenter that is
beware the sticky ones.
Yeah.
Who said, "I know less now than before the answer." It's something I.
Yeah.
Another one from Joffwa. Starling said Ed has Vaxillian heritage, but there's also a call out of quote unquote true Vaxillians.
Yes.
Does Ed have quote unquote true Vaxillian heritage?
Yes. Yes.
Pay attention to me, Brandon.
He's mostly human.
What is it, Brandon?
And Seth Grant says, you've stated before that you had a backup plan in case you decided to not have Taravangian take up Odium.
Yes.
In this world, Raze was pretty against picking up another shard. Mm-hmm. What might have been different about the finale of Book 5 in this alternate future? That's a very hypothetical question.
This is a very hypothetical question. So if he hadn't taken it up, I would have left Ray's in charge, and Ray's would have tried to splinter honor and cultivation, and we would have continued on the whole splintering route rather than him taking it up. Again, this is one of those ones that once I got to the actual book, I knew was just not very likely, right? Because the main choice had always been Taravangian. I'd given myself this backup, and I just really like Taravangian as he makes a better villain for the entirety of the Stormlight Archive and for the entirety of the Cosmere than Raised. And this is partially just because I haven't written Dragonsteel yet, right? If I had started with Dragonsteel, remember when I was working on these outlines, I was intending Lyre of Partnell to come out before Stormlight, right? This was before Wheel of Time hit me. And you would have read a trilogy about Hoid, and you would know all of the shards of Adel Nalcion's vessels. And Ray's then being a major villain, it worked so much better. I didn't get that done, and I'm not likely to do that for a while. I needed to do Stormlight Archive. And so because of that, when I sat down to write book one, I'm like, no, Taravangian
asking for a pause reader?
He had been since Dragonsteel Prime. I can't remember what I called him.
Just can we stop and try to imagine what it will be like for future generations when Brendan has done it, for someone to read the timeline version of the Cosmere and not starting with Dragonsteel? How insane that will be.
People will do it.
Well, we've got private chat. Who's private chatting me? Oh.
I don't have a private chat. Oh, I do have
a private chat. Do we have a girl chat, Scott?
That was a long time ago.
No,
I got private chats.
I got no new.
It's in if you go over into private chat on the phone.
Oh, it's just saying hi.
It's true. You're not wrong. I really like this question from Daddy Derfrosty 1716. Did Nightblood swear the second ideal at the end of Wind and Truth?
Dude, something happened. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he can provide surges.
I thought he provided surges because he, talked to the blades.
I thought it's because he ate the blades. Nah.
Oh, I don't hate that either. I like that actually. I don't remember the order of events as to when he started draining surges. That's a good theory too. I like that.
In Dragonsteel Prime. Not Dragonsteel Prime.
Oh, I bet. Maybe. Oh, this is interesting, right?
I saw that one. Is it possible for Moash to bond the Blackthorn spread?
No. I was looking back up. There was a question about could a Mistborn said what would happen if a full Mistborn burned a chip of an honor blade that was created during the battle between Zeth and some of the honor bearers. Has anyone tried to collect them? That would connect to the Nightblood was eating parts of the honor blades to be able to give the powers of the honor blades theory.
That kind of ties in why I was confused about shard blades and them being 2 to 3 metals, because I remember long ago when Bran was like, yeah, that's technically the god metal, and if you were to break it off, you would be able to burn that god metal.
Yeah, it would be an alloy god metal, right?
Yeah. Which I'm guessing honor blades would be honor. Shard blades are light.
Honor and cultivation.
Yeah.
Prime. Way of Kings Prime. But yeah, just one of those ones that when you're writing, it just became more and more likely it was going to be him as I wrote the books. And then, yes, when I finally got to Rhythm of War, I knew it was the right answer. So.
And I have the question from Joker, if you want that one.
Yeah, just a minute. Yep. What happened to the Lyre of Partnell sample chapters? We should find a way to get those back up. There's no reason to not. It's not very canon anymore. Lyre of Partnell did not turn out very good. Here's the problem with Lyre of Partnell. just isn't a good.
It's the
Hoid
first
backstory.
Dragonsteel series.
With King's
Oh.
Flame,
Yeah, it was a
that didn't
it was
do
attempted
everything I wanted to,
Dragonsteel.
and I was sure I could get it better. Liar Partnell doesn't work. It does introduce the Aethers. It was going to be nice to
I
have
have Dragonsteel Prime. I've never read it.
it's not much
So
better.
Dragonsteel Prime
But
was the start
yeah,
of like
there's an alternate
5
timeline
books,
where
a
instead of
5-book
working
series.
Yeah.
Arithmetist
And Liar of Partnell was supposed to
And then
be a
Wheel of Time.
trilogy
I
before
fixed
that
Liar Partnell
introduces
and
you to
the
Hoid
thing
and all of his
Warbreaker
stuff.
is the
Got it.
shattering of it. And
And
also,
then
so that's
Dragonsteel
thing.
Prime happens and all that stuff.
So,
Can you
all right, another
write
question
out
we
what
need
it
to take-
felt like? Because I can't.
Part I Nell.
Part I know.
N-E-L. Part I Nell.
Just reminds me of
Yes, this one is from the chat. This is the
Yes.
Joker question.
Yes.
Which shard that we haven't seen yet are you most excited to write and for us to read, and why?
Valor probably. Valor's history with Hoid is fun, and so, writing.
Okay, so Valor is Valor is
almost
nice.
all powerful shard of Aiden Alcium, who is also Hoid's ex-girlfriend.
Wait, what?
What?
Mhm. Yeah.
He said that like months ago.
Yeah.
He said
I
that.
had
he
someone
said that, like,
arguing with that
Well,
about
do next
thinking
for,
about that.
Dragonsteel.
I was arguing about it until I was able to go and find that
It's not
he
a good
had clarified in the time I had,
He's really, really
been
not good
unaware.
at relationships.
because at first it was
Learned
seen as
something.
cultivation. but he
Yeah.
clarified it
I mean,
shortly before I had that combo.
Yeah.
I knew he had dated like
You
at
would
least all
think-
the shards and at least
you would think.
Yeah, he had jaded a dragon shard, and at the time we had only known
I mean,
about.
would you want to date him?
Well, the theory is that Valor is on Roshar and buried because Brandon had said we had seen the dragon that Hoid had dated, but it isn't cultivation, and so we had supposedly seen it. But there's also like one quick mention in one of the epigraph type things, so it could be that. But now we know it is Valor. So some people think that Valor is on Roshar.
Mm.
I'm excited for that now. That sounds awesome.
I think that'd be amazing because then it also makes sense that there's someone that doesn't want to see Hoid because that's mentioned at some point. And so people were thinking it was cultivation
Yeah.
because they thought that she was his ex-girlfriend.
I thought that was one of the fused.
I don't think we can. Well, we can dig into that. I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
play though.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So
It would never be boring.
poor Hoid. So yeah. Don't spread that one to people who haven't read yet. You will get something with. But yes, there's a good reason that Valor does not want Hoid to find her. Let's just say, and he doesn't know where she is. So
She's got his babies.
He only has 2, the twins.
Oh, that's an interesting one. He doesn't know
Wait.
where she is.
Wait, did he just confirm?
Did you
She,
say the
He just
twins?
confirmed that,
Twins?
he has twins.
Go back.
The
Go
twins are his.
back.
Wait, go back.
He just
We
confirmed
knew,
it.
we knew he had twins, but we didn't know who the
He
parent
only
was.
has 2.
No, we didn't. That was a theory.
No, there was a line in Emberdark that he had twins.
Right, but we didn't know. Some people
Go back and let's see what he
Sorry,
says.
some people thought it was Shalon's twins.
So yeah, there was a reference to his
Yeah.
wife and the twins.
The twins. Yeah.
But he just said Hoid has 2 kids, the twins. He just said that.
Okay.
That was one of the questions I asked earlier.
He
so I'm like,
only has 2, the twins. So, yep. All right.
Answer one of my
We have
questions,
a
though.
romantasy book, Hoid and his wife. Romantasies don't deal well with tragedy, in my experience.
No,
So I don't know if that would work.
How's it we've gotten more on
terribly
Hoid?
well.
I mean they only deal with happy
He
endings.
said writing that
technically,
Hoid's like
so.
girl is a lot of fun. Not would be. Yeah. Okay. It is a lot of fun because Yasna is also an ex. And I've already written about her. She was only an ex briefly by the end of Stormlight 5, but yeah. Writing about Hoid having being annoyed is a lot of fun. You shouldn't expect a Hoid and Valor story anytime soon. Sorry. What's the significance of the Adon, the name Adon Alcium? Does it have anything with the Hebrew word Adonai? Yes, in the same way. So I take a lot of my translation work, a lot of my naming. I borrow some things that Tolkien said. And I'm sorry if you've heard me talk about this a lot. When I am coming up with a name, I will use often some Earth analogs that I'm trying to search for something that has a similar analog in the Cosmere. So, for instance, when you get hemalurgy and ferochemy, we are using, and things like that, we're using Latin and Greek. Why? Because the words they're using in their world are old, dead languages that have been adopted as, I mean, Greek isn't a dead language, but you know what I mean. Ancient Greek is. Have been adopted in the same way on Scadrial as Latin and Greek have for talk about scientific things, right? Adonalsium's name is to evoke this sense of they have a word that is similar to the word Adonai in Hebrew. And the name is supposed to remind you of that. Not that Hebrew exists in the Cosmere, but a language like Hebrew exists in the Cosmere, and the name is derived from that. So there you are.
I do wonder if this has something to do with the Dawn chant, just because a lot of the singer names have a very Hebrew cadence to how the words function.
Yeah,
That's true. Rabboniel,
Well, like you look at the names like Makaim, Shanaim, like that apostrophe and then like a suffix. It's very much how Hebrew works as a language.
Yeah.
And I think that would be very interesting.
The linguistic feel, even just like the sounds.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, you would know better than I would, of course.
Play on.
Oh, power scaling. Book 14.
Book 14 ran
Fighting Taln. Usually these are easy. I think Rand probably still wins. I think in the world of, like, I think that in general, the weaves of the Wheel of Time are more powerful than the Cosmere magics as a whole.
Bellfire?
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
I think they are. It's just a step up in power level, and Rand is several steps beyond that by book 14. I think Rand has the edge on Taln, but I mean, Taln is the only non-deific thing that could give him a run for his money, and Taln's got going for him that if you kill Taln, Taln can come back. So there is that as well. Taln might have inevitability because of that, and Taln can move at a speed that that Rand might not be able to track, but Rand can teleport, and that's a really big deal, right? So I'm gonna give this one to Rand by a narrow margin, but please confirm sticky ones. I do not know what you mean. I'm sorry.
What is that?
Let's do a question from
The 10th fuse.
Fused.
The adhesion
talking
fused.
about the 10th, one of the forms.
Got it.
We were talking about it earlier. Jeez, I'm
Okay.
brain fart right now, so never mind.
Okay.
I'm sure someone will.
We were talking about it on the stream here.
Yes.
We're talking about the fuse?
The fused, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what I was
sticky
like-
one. I get what you're calling it.
That's why I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to confirm.
Those ones of stickiness. I'm not going to confirm those ones of stickiness. That's definitely that's funny. By the end of the main Cosmere novels, will we have known why
Time to retire.
I intend to, but I can't promise it. Cosmere novels, will we have known why Vasher was brought back by Endamit? I intend you to, but I can't promise it.
Yes, you can.
Talk about Tolkien all you want, birthday Brandon. Well, thank you. I like talking about
Birthday Brandon.
He's really good. He's a really good writer.
Well, I feel like it's a little too early to tell.
Yeah, I know. One of the things I like about Tolkien is, and we talked about this a little on a podcast episode coming up, is he can be profound without being flowery. And that's a really good skill. Like when people copy Tolkien, they copy him and they make it florid. and he's really not. He uses a really good word now and then. But I was reading, and Gandalf also says, run for it at one point, right? Like, it's not stiff. It feels a little more formal, but it doesn't feel stiff. The dialogue doesn't feel stiff. It feels naturalistic, yet somehow elevated at the same time. And that's what's really cool. And he doesn't shy away from using things like run for it. He doesn't care if people be like, why is Gandalf saying run for it? Is that too modern? No, Tolkien doesn't care. It's what he would say. But it also carries this weight to it that I really like. He's very, very good at that. Not so, I really appreciate some of the changes Peter Jackson made to the action scenes to make them more cinematic. But yeah. Anyway, Tolkien, great. I know, really, really hot take there. Tolkien and Dune.
So the end of that sentence was, I appreciate what Peter Jackson did with the action scenes, but I don't like what he did with the dialogue. Right? Like, that's the logical ending to that sentence, because he's like, I appreciate what Peter Jackson did making the action more intense.
Maybe.
I think it could just be a plus to the action, not necessarily.
Yeah, I think he might, because I think he was commenting on the fact that, like, people were like, why would Gandalf say this? But it was what was in the book.
But in the movie, Gandalf says, fly, you fools. Not.
Oh, and that's
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if
it.
That's that moment or not, but like, fly, you fools is flowery. Run for it.
Right,
is
but
not.
I think he might have been saying, I think he said at one point, like, not at that point.
No, I know.
This
No, I'm
is
saying that's an example of
potentially.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate some of the changes Peter Jackson made to the action scenes to make them more cinematic.
Looking up every run for it.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yep, that's his negative there. He said, but yeah, just that's my vote. That's my vote. Tolkien's got a negative thing to say.
I know. Really, really hot take there. Tolkien and Dune are fantastic books. Wow, Brandon. We have the papercraft covers.
When they hear the drums,
any more papercraft covers in the future? We have.
He says, "Run for it." But when he's hanging from the bridge, he says, "Fly, you fools."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you just pull out?
You did.
I love you.
I love
you
it.
Cryptid.
That's what I was pointing out.
That makes me almost ship Scott and Krishna. No, I'm just kidding. Because I know Krishna will be able to do that too.
Krishna's got a boy.
I know. I said almost.
Can I ship Scott with me?
Yes.
I am open to any and all ships.
Get the right.
Scott is single as a dollar bill.
Rights. The paperback rights to that are with Tachyon, while the other two are with Tor. And so we just went ahead because we were doing the negotiations while we were getting them. So we've got
win a date with Scott.
One in our back pocket.
That's our next giveaway.
One of the things we could try a poll on this. We could release those paperback covers as new dust jackets to cover your old hardcovers, if people wanted to. That's a thing we've talked about. So if people really like those, we could do something like that. I think that they would not want them unless there were 3 Mistborn, right? If the Mistborn were done with all 3, but we could ask about that. Can you expand on why silver is effective at nullifying shades and spores, and does it work? Because silver is used on Earth as an antibacterial and antifungal.
Tyler question.
I love that connection, but I would be lying if I told you that's where I came up with it. That I don't want to sound more clever than I am. Silver is like that because I wanted there's a place in White Sand Prime or White Sand Novel where we see that people are able to interfere with flows of sand mastery holding people up by mixing in. You stick their arms there and the investiture whacks things out, right? It's like that needs a straight connection down to the ground, and when something gets muddled, that you can knock a Sandmaster down. I wanted something that could do that for basically all Magic systems, something that wasn't just inert, that was destructive. And silver is what I came up with, and the main reason I picked silver is I had not used it as an allomantic metal. It's just what it is. Was not an allomantic metal, and I wanted a metal that did that. There we are. So, does iridium, when alloyed, invert the internal extra axis the metal it's alloyed with? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Did odium hijack Braze's original purpose? Yes. I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, but odium does intend to use Braze for its original purpose, or he knows of its original purpose. How about that? Did he hijack it? I don't know if that's the right thing. Will he use it for that? I don't know. Will there ever be a reproduction shard? And did it get turned into endowment, or was there ever? There was never a reproduction shard. Cultivation and endowment cover that.
And live.
But audiobook's even bigger now. Oh, I scrolled too much far.
Went past me too. I don't got it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As soon as I get to the bottom of this, it starts scrolling and I have to be really careful. And so I was going to answer your question. You could ask it again. Could Wade have survived the explosion by compounding gold because he was a Mistborn? No, I don't think he could have, and
that's a little bit too much.
I'm not gonna canonize things that you maybe want me to canonize. Let's just raffo that. It's a Dawn Shard that's different. One of the ones we know. Raffo on Dawn Shards. Sorry, folks. And thank you for the people responding and boasting my question. Night Still. I can't remember which one that was, but great. Can Awakeners use their hair as a color source? Not if it's on them. Yep. Wow. I need a better way to scroll on these. I think it's not your mouse. I think it's just the system.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I just need to get to the end.
Is Shalon pregnant?
Would a Night Watcher Bonsynth be able to create life for life light?
I just want to point out that the technology is you click on the thing on the side and then it can't move. Then you just.
But what he said is that he has sometimes accidentally gone all the way to the bottom and they can't find that spot again.
But he's doing scrolling. If you do this and hold the if you just don't
be kind to our Lord and Master.
I'm kind. I want him to know these things also.
CJ, here's the thing. This is why I don't like Donald and Adam, because they should be able to tell him this.
See, this is why
Brandon needs to know.
And Adam has the laptop.
One of them, at least, needs to be technically literate.
For Radiants, this is theoretically possible.
Okay.
Does a reason shard simply imply the other shards are devoid of it? No. Any more than there being an honor shard implies that the others are devoid of honor. So, no. Are there now 11 honor blades? Raffo. Could you tell us something fun about the Lawnarchs? I mean, you probably already know that Isaac inspired them with concept art. That they were a thing that I kind of wanted something like this, and I'd been devising something, but it didn't have wings. And when I saw Isaac's cool drawing, I'm like, okay, this is what they are. This is what we're gonna do with them. And so, yeah. So
they're just like a Rito, right? From Zelda.
I was thinking Larkins. I saw Larkins on the page.
It's right under.
And it's right under. And we're fire lizards from Pern inspiration for Larkins. So there's a fun fact about Larkins. And yes, fire lizards from Pern were an inspiration. So if a Spren found a Mistwraith, could they inhabit it to get a physical form?
Ooh.
This could possibly work. This is the weird one. It could possibly work. Possibly. I don't think it'd be natural, but I like the cut of your jib. Let's just say that. So, does the gravity of the planet you're standing on affect how powerful wind rudder lashings are?
Yeah.
Yes.
You listening, Johnny?
Of what gravity is affects them. But if this makes sense, the amount of investiture required to get to a certain speed does not change. Only the increments that your brain naturally makes them in. Does that make sense, Nano Freak? Sounds
like he's being mean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Nano Freak?
Makes sense, Nano Freak.
Why are they so controversial in Roshar's history? Rappo. Are Moa's crystal spikes a form of hemalurgy? Yes, they are. In fact, there is a point in, and I've told you guys this before, but just so that if you haven't heard it, there's a point in Way of Kings Prime where they are walking through some tunnels to escape from the city, and that city was a partial inspiration for Urithiru. That's what became Urithiru. And they look down a corridor, and behind that corridor is an unmade spike to the wall with crystal hemalurgic spikes. But we don't go over there. It was a seed for book 2 that didn't happen. So, crystal hemalurgic spikes were in the Cosmere from Way of Kings Prime. So,
wow.
If Wax has another child, could it be misborn? Yes.
I do want to point out that when Brandon says, I've said this before plenty of times. A lot of times he has never said that.
Not publicly.
Yeah. That's when you know something cool is about to be dropped. Like, I've said this before, and then
it's like, no. Okay, but to Karen Ahlstrom, not to us.
I've told my wife. That's about it. Or I speak to the mirror in my bathroom sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
If you hemalurgic spike is sleepless, which of their parts get the power or just the one spiked? They're an individual altogether, so all of them would get the parts. It'd be kind of hard to get the spiking to work right, but it would transfer to the whole thing. Just like it transfers to you when, not all of your cells are actively touching the spike. Liv's favorite color, neon something. If you showed her neon pink, she'd be all over it. So currently, what's the most garish, like a good garish orange, I'm going to say is what she would like. Did Odium have a perpendicularity on Ashen? That's a Rapho. Would you allow an anime company to produce Yumi the Nightmare Painter film or series? Yes, I would eagerly jump on that.
That would be awesome.
Yumi the Nightmare Painter is one that I would instantly try. Basically, if someone came to me right now, even if the budgets were modest for Yumi or for Tress, I would really consider it. The offer we got on Tress was below modest, and I was worried about it. But particularly if someone had a really good track record, wanted to try a Yumi anime, absolutely on board. Though the one that the anime companies have been most interested in, though it's not a lot of interest. So don't clip this and make some big clickbait title. There is no real interest. The one that I've had inquiries about is Legion. Because apparently what's doing well in anime right now is quiet, sexy man detective types.
Yes.
That's always.
Full leveling.
Hey, Sean!
Sean from the car.
Hey, I'm in my car right now, about to drive home, but I figured I'd pop in and say hi.
Hi, drive safe.
Yeah, be good, be safe, be careful.
The problem.
Thanks. I'll listen as I drive.
To be something that somebody finds if they don't already know who I am. I don't want them to compete with the better versions of the books. And I don't want someone to go to Audible, type in The Way of Kings, and find Prime and listen to it. Can an unoath revive a dead eye to the point they can have surges available to them again? Yes, but the unoath, this is theoretically possible, but it is not a same bond. So in other words, the unoath will not get those surges, and most of the dead eyes are of a sort that would not want to grant them. That gives too much power over each other to the people, and it's not a matter of trust; it's a matter of morality to them. So it's too close. What happens and this is the disagreement. What happens in the radiant bond feels too close for some of the spread to slavery. It's not, in my opinion, and it's not in the other Spren's opinion, but it is in their opinion, and they get to make that decision. Can the door be taken up by a vessel? This is possible. It'd be very hard. And if so, is it more probable than the door being separated into its two parts? Being separated into its two parts, I would say, is a little more likely. Oh, and did Wax have another child? Rafa. Will the final era of Mistborn focus on Hoyd and his apprentices? So, yes, you are wise. You are seeing something that I am setting up. You will definitely have some more interaction of Hoyd's apprentices in the final Mistborn series. Was the creation of the evil an intentional result of the splintering of ambition? No. So Odium didn't really know what he was doing.
Oidium.
But he knew he didn't want to have the same thing happen that happened on Cell, and what happened was worse. So this is why Odium had to recuperate and could not really attack honor and cultivation, and kind of had to sideways work with them a little bit because of what happened there. Wait a moment. Did I say something, Master Tuesday, that was... Yeah. I've given you guys a few good lore drops.
Or should we just pause for a minute?
I'm not good at pausing. Got to go fast. Have I noticed any differences in how the narrators portray your characters versus how you imagine them? Have the narrators affected their development in any way? The most obvious one is me trying to come up with weird accents for Wayne to make Michael's head hurt. I don't know. I don't do this as much as maybe I could, but I also do like cutting out more he said, she says than I used to. Just because listening to the audiobook, I like how Michael and Kate do it. They aren't as distracting. Some narrators, it's really distracting with the attributions, and you just don't need them. I would love, I wish there was something in between the full cast audio and the regular audio where we could release a version that was technically edited, but all that was edited is we take out a lot of the attributions because make them invisible because the narrator's doing a voice. You don't need them. You need them periodically for your eyes. Otherwise so let me know what you guys think. Should we try that at some point and just be like, we're going to have someone go through and cut out most of the he said, she says. I told Peter about this idea. And he said, no, you can't do that because it'll have to list as edited, abridged. It'll have to list as abridged. And people don't like abridged books.
We'll just have them say it really, really quiet.
So, but yeah, that's the thing I would like to do. I mean,
I think that's a good idea.
I'm listening to Tolkien. I haven't noticed it a single time. Andy Serkis is just really, really good at making that said slip out so it doesn't distract. But I've noticed it in other readers. The Andy Serkis audiobooks are so good. Is there a Vorin equivalent to Wedding Band since it would traditionally go on a safe hand? There's not really a Vorin equivalent of that. Not all cultures have that, though it is a useful thing. I think it actually started with the Romans with us.
That's my understanding.
Yeah. Endowment replied to Hoyd's letter telling him to leave Valor alone. Is there some form of prior relationship between the two, Endowment and Valor, before becoming shards? Endowment and Valor do have, don't read romantic relationship into this, but do have relationship. There are, and they've had more dealings since. They have, you could call those two. They've got a good friendship going. How about that?
Two best friends.
Because shippers want everything to be romantic. You can do your thing, but it's not romantic. Are there Skadron Spren equivalents? Have we seen of them? If there are, no. This vesture is being used in a different way. Closest you're going to get now. There really aren't. There aren't any. I don't want every world to have them. I want the worlds to be able to have their own. You see them on a lot of worlds, but I don't want every world to have them. Okay. Let's do a few more from there, and then we'll come back.
Luca 18 says, in Isles of the Emberdark, we see the Scadrians use a machine to cut Chrysalis's connections between her hordlings.
Yes.
Would an Allomancer burning copper achieve the same result? Similarly, could a hordling be discovered by burning bronze?
What a good question. So this is in the same power portfolio as copper, but an Allomancer burning copper wouldn't naturally just do this. Can they be discovered by someone burning bronze? Again, in the same power portfolio, but no, an Allomancer burning bronze could likely, I would say, just would not detect one. And so what we're getting into the space age is we're getting into the ability to reach beyond human limits for achieving things with technological intervention, shall we say, technological development, which is something I wanted to see the Cosmere do, because it's something that, has happened in our world. We use technology to augment our strength far beyond what we could do. Well, this is what you're seeing happening here.
Are you going to have an equivalent to something like CRISPR in Era 4?
So Era 4, we are working on something. We'll RAFO that.
Okay.
But
I got a RAFO. Yeah.
You got a RAFO. Yeah.
Seth says, I notice a lot of similarities between the Chard and the Inquisitors.
Yes.
Loss of personality, corruption of investiture, bloodlust, violent tendencies, etc. The Scadrian scientists were responsible for teaching the Cinder King how to create them, and they mention how you have to add a quote-unquote special form of investiture to the Sun Hearts in order to result in a Chard warrior.
Yes.
My question is...
This sounds like it's going to be a very smart one.
Is that quote-unquote special investiture hemalurgy or connected to ruin?
Yes.
Oh.
Good job.
This is questions yes or no.
I thought that was obvious.
Well, no, I don't know if I would have said
I just thought it was similar intent.
What sometimes you
I don't think it was
ask
the
yes or no
same.
questions. Sometimes you do.
I thought it was like using
Go
similar
in
principles,
the
but
right direction. This is
separate.
the way to ask a yes or no
But I
question.
guess it's the same.
I don't know that I would have given any more. And so asking it yes or no lets me say yes rather than RAFO.
Perfect.
And I think I would have RAFO'd it if they would have asked it more open-ended.
Excellent question.
So, yep.
Legion Rip says, in Sunlit Man, there is an incredible amount of investiture at the core of Canticle.
Yes.
We know that Odium, Ambition, and Mercy clashed near Threnody, but that Ambition did not die there. Could Canticle be a grave or tomb for the corpse of Ambition and its investiture?
It could be, but it's not.
Okay. There's a second half if you want.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
It would connect the Threnodites being in both systems. The rings could be intended to keep the investiture from spilling out into the rest of the system and
Trying to
making
convince Brandon.
and making it to traverse like Cell.
This is a great question and a great theory, but I know where Ambition's corpse is, and it's not there. So.
Well, I'm glad that is a fictional person.
Yes.
That you know where their corpse is.
Yes.
Seth Krantz says, were magic systems as abundant before the shattering as they are now?
Yes.
Ooh.
They were.
Oh.
They took a little bit of different form, but yes.
Okay.
That's a really good question.
Can you see Dragonsteel? And someone up says here, "Will you ever read a story about Hyde's backstory?" Yes, that's Dragonsteel. You will see plenty of magic.
Okay.
Why can't people just Google before they ask a question here?
Did they significantly?
Because part of the joy for them is having Brandon answer.
I think they increased in number because
But there's lots of things you can answer instead of some of the
things like that. So yes, there's just more planets, and the shards are out doing their stuff, and there's
Interesting.
Kiri Dune says, for a double 10 twinborn, what would compounding look like? Would Would they be able to see microscopically, telescopically past the visual light spectrum? Would they be able to see or hear into the cognitive or spiritual realms?
Seeing or hearing into the cognitive spiritual realms, probably not, because that's much more of a seeker ability than it is a tin eye ability. But seeing microscopic and things like that is fully within, like they could probably even see the axis, which is their status. If you've read Dragonsteel Prime, you know that that's a magic system. And Tin Eyes could do that. Compounding with if you did it right, you could do that.
Fit Wrangler says, is there anything that absolutely cannot be done by Aeons, but can be done by other magic systems?
Yes, Aeons aren't good at replicating Aether abilities. Aeons are not good at replicating anything that requires negative investiture. Aeons are not good at anything that requires like a willful choice and persistent bond. But they can mimic those effects. So there you are. There's a few.
And from Loose there in Telescope.
Here he is.
You said shards need permission to settle the same worlds. In Arrow 2, Autonomy invests Scadrial. Did she get permission?
Autonomy has permission from
herself.
The ascension of the Lord Ruler. There's a lore drop for you. And it's
sorry, I missed a little bit because of the explanations. Autonomy has prior authorization from before the Lord Ruler. Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was from the Lord Ruler. Sorry.
That's what I thought.
From before the
prior
Lord
to
Ruler.
or before the Lord Ruler.
Yeah.
Was the would that mean it's from Preservation Ruin or from when she placed they placed
Preservation and Ruin?
Trail down.
Both. I think that's the same thing.
Around the time.
It's a yes to everything.
It bugs me to no end that Brandon's so tight-lipped about like Lord Ruler stuff. Why?
Well, there's gonna be. We're gonna find out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we will.
Yeah, like the Lord Ruler's kids. Why is that still a question?
Honestly, sometimes I think Brandon's just
It's
playing.
probably going to come up, though. He wouldn't. I don't think. I mean, yes, he would troll us, but
sometimes Brandon raffos things because he either doesn't plan on writing it, but doesn't want to take the ability away to write it later if he wants to.
Yes. Very true.
Drop for you, and is coasting on that. No, she did not get permission from Harmony.
Okay.
So
what? Okay.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Anyway, but let's just say that there are. I mean, you guys knew this. They know that. There are Autonomy has had some dealings on Scadrial in the past. They've already known that. That's not a lore bomb for them, but I am confirming it.
Yeah. 15 minutes left. Did you want to finish?
Yeah, we'll finish for 15 minutes on the chat. All right. Our Clinaxons. I still have to remember that name because I renamed them from. Yeah, they were called something else. Hordes created by Idonosium, if not created by invention. Raffo. Endowment, stay away from your ex. You are bad for her. Does Nightblood grant all the Zeph all the surges? Nightblood found a way to replicate surges. Yes, he did. So letting him sit and chat with Honor Blades was a fun thing. Thanks, Jay. Why was Hawkins chosen by Nail and the other high spread and Zeph spread? Given his inexperience that he had enough doubts about the mainline Skybreakers, considering joining the centers. They didn't know.
Someone just said Adolin
in line
in the chat.
You know, they're like, you've waited your time. His question is not something that
Renarin?
Surrounding metal and edible materials.
I think it's related to the live question.
Oh yeah. We're a good bit behind.
Yeah.
To delay its reaction when ingested. Yes. I think you might be able to do that. You're talking about like to delay its reaction, like blowing you up reaction. So yeah, I suppose that might work. Will the prologue to Stormlight 6 number represents another singular pivotal event? That is what is planned. Not the same, yeah, a new event. It's part of what made me decide to divide them into. Bros before Hoids. Yeah.
What do you say?
Bros before Voids.
Wow. Wow. It really jumps.
Yep.
Wow. It really jumps.
In all fairness, the chat is also going pretty fast.
And that's what it is. It just, okay. Cosmere MTG win. When Magic is into it. When they're willing to do it. What's that you posted about loving writing in June 2023? That's the thing I haven't been able to remember. I'm sorry. I haven't ever just looked it up. I need to look it up because I have timestamps on all the chapters I finished, so I could find out which chapter it was. But I don't remember. I think it might have been the wedding.
I was actually going to ask you that. So.
My best bet is the wedding, and being able to have to finally kind of canonize what people had guessed long ago,
especially with the ball theme. I was wondering if that's what it was for.
Writing what you wrote about my Shadaliers earlier this year. When can I read it? In the Cosmere RPG? Maybe in the Ars Arcanum of Ghostblood's one.
Okay.
That's for those of you wanting to know. That's like our.
What's that question?
So the question was.
Through it.
He said, well, he's having to read it as fast as he can before it moves. Is what's happening. He said, I read this one earlier. You said that you wrote something about the medallions early this year. When can we read it in the Cosmere RPG? And now he's saying probably the Ars Arcanum for Ghostblood's one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Canonical submitted to the Arcanists for review. Explanation technology of Malwish medallions, and then how we're doing things like flying cars and stuff on Scadrial.
I noticed Josh isn't here.
Do you need an investor to work?
I was going to say he probably.
He was in chat earlier.
We need splash specifically. No, you can hack this way easier if you can strip some of the natural, like if you can get that Stormlight and you can I'd say I have to use the right terminology. Let's see, we have unkeyed investiture and we have the other term. You get up in front of things, but you gotta it works a lot better if you can just make it not unkeyed, but
sorry, I'm not very helpful. It's been too long of a.
Yeah, my brain is starting to hurt. Anyway, if you can strip away the intent from the investor. So there's two terms. One strips away intent. One strips away the identity.
Laundered.
Stripping away both helps, but really stripping away the intent helps is what you're going to need.
He's talking about like purified investiture, like purified door versus unkeyed metal mines. I think maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Wasn't there another?
With it.
Weren't they smuggling? What was the type of investiture that they were smuggling in Emberdark? Was that unkeyed?
I thought that was just unkeyed Stormlight.
Okay, yeah.
It was unkeyed Stormlight, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Stripping away the
unkeyed Stormlight. I'll have to ask after.
It might just be light.
The identity lets you use the investiture of another person.
Thank you, Scott.
For years. So, and Stormlight doesn't really need that stripped away as much. Is there a rhythm made in Egnalsium? And if so, could it be played? Raffo. The Stoneworks really rock. Yes, they do. Child is born in the far outer Emberdark. Would they have connection to this realm like a person on a planet, or would they be void of identity? They would have a connection to how they view that outer realm of the Emberdark. So yes, it's the first. So I took a calculus class from Professor Lake in real life. Does that make me implicitly canon in the Cosmere? Yes. Glamdring, apparently you're canon in 2 legendariums. So yes.
Oh, looks like they're shutting
down. Telling the full truth about Spitz Past Sin. By his perception, I think so. Will you write a deleted scene in Nightblood's POV talking with the Honor Blades? Probably not. You can fanfic it if you want. Is there any interesting conspiracy theories prevalent in the Cosmere, like flat earthers? Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, the plague was a bit of a conspiracy theory. There's a bunch going on about where that came from and who caused it, and things like that. The plague that was the common cold. But yeah, I'll have to think about, like, there's a bunch of them. I'm trying to figure out like there's a bunch about the sleepless, like tons about the sleepless that I think you would find interesting. Like, are people think they're Adenalcium? People think they're Aethers. People think that they're aliens that are neither one. People love to talk about.
Everyone's an alien in the Cosmere.
The grand apparatus, or whatever I've called it as canon. I feel like I called it the grand apparatus, but then I wrote it in a book as something else, and so now I have to do what I called it in the book.
Apparatus is what I remember.
That's what I remember too.
Maybe I called it something else on accident, not the grand apparatus in the. But anyway, yeah. Who do you think the protagonists of the second half of the Stormlight Archive are? The protagonists of the second half of the Stormlight Archive are our 5 flashback characters, plus. So you've got Lift,
plus
Yasna, Renarin, Ash, and Taln. And then you will remain with Kaladin, Shallan, and Adolin. And I'd say you're going to get most everything from them. The Kaladin, Shallan, and Adolin should remain about the same level of import that they have. Of the 5 that I mentioned there, it's likely Lift and Taln will be kind of a little more. Well, Yasna also. Ash and Renarin will probably be more of a main character in the way that Navani and Zeth were main characters, in that there's not as much time dedicated to them. But we'll have to see when I write the books.
The order that you
That's kind of comforting.
Publication order is one of them. But I can't remember what it said. So Taln, then it's Lift is first, then Renarin.
Yep.
Lift is first.
Then I'm planning Ash, and then I'm planning Taln, then I'm planning Yasna.
Yasna's last.
Of course she is, because we love her the most.
Yeah.
He's gonna be teasing that room and her sickness.
Oh yeah.
For 40 years.
That order.
For 40 years.
We're gonna be as old as she is by the time we get to it.
Yeah.
I already am.
That order has been out there for a while.
As old as she is.
It has. It has.
I didn't know Renarin was going to be one of them.
Yeah, he's talked about that since
for a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
There's too much Renarin stuff we don't know.
I thought you were just going to say there's too much Renarin content. I was going to Renarin Scott. That's
okay, Scott hater.
Freaking done with that guy.
Howard, is there sweetened and Mistborn Era 1? They do have a lot of honey. They do have a lot of sugar beets.
Did that guy finally get his question answered about sweetening in Era 1? He posted that so many times.
I have to respect it.
I don't at all. No. That's not how this works.
No, that man has a dream and he has a plan, and I respect it. Whoever that was.
Maybe it's for his fanfic, okay?
Exactly.
You can admire his desire to know.
Was the question about sugar beets? Are you sure it's not just like a bad office joke?
No, it was about sweetening in Mistborn and like how do they sweeten things in Era 1 or something. Well, one guy
This
posted it
man
about
does, and I
55
appreciate
times.
it.
There doesn't seem to be anywhere in the Final Empire sugarcane might grow. But dessert sweets are mentioned in Era 1. They've got also some sugar-like things. Not like Scadrial is an earth analog, but you'll find them mentioning some plants that don't exist on Earth. And I think they're making sugar from some of the berries that are mentioned and things like that. Cosmere Commander decks are full. Cosmere MTG set, that's really up to Wizards. I'd be on board for either one. But they got a lot of
answered that like 3 times today.
Avatar was really great. They just knocked that one out of the park. So
until I played it.
Yeah.
My ass got kicked so bad.
You need to come to more of our things. If you only play once a year, how would you be at golf if you only played once a year?
Oh, I'm bad enough at golf too. But just you guys do Magic when I have theater nights.
Oh, right.
That's why.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Your theater.
The theater is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just want to learn about this Adam guy.
How do you feel about your decision to make Venli the main will shaper instead of Eshonai now that you finished the first arc? It's fraught. I wish I would have found a way to make the flashbacks better. And I think I needed to just take a different tactic on them entirely.
Yeah.
Once I had written out things. I'm very pleased with how both Eshonai and Venli's characters turned out. And I really like my goal with Venli was to write an unlikable protagonist who slowly became more likable, but not fully likable, right? Like she is so many of the other characters you're seeing in their moments of heroism. And I wanted you to see Venli in her moments of non-heroism. And to just add a contrast, like this is a book with Kaladin in it, right? Like a series with Kaladin. I needed somebody that wasn't Kaladin.
Right.
And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I really like Venli as a character. She did exactly what I wanted her to. The flashbacks didn't work the way I wanted them to. And so I needed more mystery to them. And that's the only thing that's fraught with that. Otherwise, I really feel great about Rhythm of War, giving it years. We'll have to see how I feel about Wind and Truth, giving it years. I was worried about the science scenes, and I think coming out of them, I'm glad I did them, even though they're a little different. And part of this is we won't get into it. I don't want to talk about book stuff. So, would Zeph be a good rebear? No. No.
Would Zeth what?
Be a good rebear. Zeth is very if you could get certain promises out of Zeth, maybe. But Zeth, one of the things is Zeth is really easy to manipulate. That's just the problem with
just
Zeth.
leave poor
That's
Zeth
so
alone.
easy to manipulate. He wants to do good so much, and it's easy to manipulate that both for what you want and against him.
What about Lift?
Lift would be terrible. You don't want anyone carrying the ring going around doing stuff, right? It would be fun, yeah. And Lift is also maybe too powerful. And so who's our best ring bearer? You guys are gonna, it's probably
Tom.
It's definitely Tom. Tom would be a fantastic.
Tom, yeah.
And he's really powerful, but
he's like a god.
But
I was gonna say Raiden.
Adolin gets close, but
Adolin was my pick.
Problem with Adolin is he's got a little bit of ends justify the means. That's what's got the division between him and his father.
Right.
I think Adolin's is justifiable, but Boromir's arguments are justifiable,
Exactly.
right? Boromir has good arguments. You don't want someone who wants those arguments. This is why asking about Zeth is a good thought, because Zeth doesn't have those ambitions, but he's so easy to manipulate. But it's interesting. Who would make a really good ring bearer? Who's not invested? Who would be good? Tress, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
I think maybe. She didn't have ambitions until her boyfriend vanished at sea. So I don't know. It's a good question.
That's fun.
Mhm.
21.
Like I think in all of Lord of the Rings, they identified the 2 people who would be good ring bearers and had them bear the ring, which is why they succeeded. All right, 2 more minutes left, so I got to find
Good job, Irving.
Here.
You got there.
Let's go.
Listen, man, I am so very dumb for real.
Welcome back.
Seth and Kaladin is his Sam, so basically we're there already. Yeah. If Wayne the Lopen and pulled pranks on each other, which would take it too far to first? Oh,
If
Wayne
who?
Lopen.
Wayne and the Lopen.
Too far. So Lopen has actually too much self-awareness to take it too far. If you watch, like Lopen, particularly after Dawnshard, has figured out that he goes too far. And that's like a Lopen.
He's got to get himself some cord.
It's really important to him. Lift has she's a teenager, and that's dangerous. Wayne isn't yet, even in the last book, self-aware. He's gotten a little bit there. I think Wayne takes it too far. I think Wayne is the one.
And with his bank account.
Yeah, and with his bank account. So can we get some Vasher for the love of God? I will do my best. So, Tien will be there. You go. You guys found the ring bearer.
Oh,
Yay! We found our ring bearer. All right.
The ring can end up just like with Icefield.
Silver instead of aluminum. Very bad for Nightblood, and it would burn away the silver. He would outlast a sheath of silver, but he would not be happy. He would be very unhappy. Depends on how much investiture he's currently holding. Do the Rasharan gas giants have Gemheart cores? I had not planned for them to do so.
That's really interesting.
So excellent question. All right, what's our last question? Let's see.
They're gas giants.
Was there a romantic relationship between A.T. and Laris? If so, would you call the destruction attempt to schedule a messy divorce? And was autonomy a third member of this? Was Laros cheating? Joker, you continue to have very good questions. I'll just say that. Very good questions to be asking. I'm gonna give you a raffle on that one. So, but
interesting.
But there's some things going on in there. So, I think I'm gonna call it there. So thanks for hanging out with me, everybody.
Adolin was the ring bearer when they texted Adolin, like from our perspective 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Sounds like Renarin. Yeah.
For a second, I thought they were talking like at a wedding, and then I remember.
Yeah,
that's where. Yeah, that's fair.
I got confused too.
Now, Sean, you are muted if you're talking. By the way,
I was waving at my son.
Oh, okay.
I'm home now, so I'm actually gonna drop.
Yeah, go say hi to your family.
Good seeing you guys.
You too.
What?
Oh man!
I thought CJ ended
the recap screen.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hello. Welcome to the Shard of Opportunity.
So, what was
your room's looking pretty cool there, Scott.
What?
We like your wall.
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of random crap. I don't ever touch it.
This is
how many hours did you spend doing that?
This is how he always is when we're recording.
Scott, you literally went back there and grabbed at least 3 books during this recording.
2 books. One was The Lord of the Rings, which is how many books together.
Which is how many books? How many books?
How many appendices also?
A lot. Too many to count. All right, you're right. You got me.
CJ jerk.
So, what was everyone's favorite lore drop tonight?
The twins.
I don't remember anything.
The anti-negative investiture.
I will have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I need to one of my goals for this next year is to read every Cosmere book in hard copy format because I've just done audiobooks. I haven't even read like Kindle versions.
Yeah.
I mean, I might read the Kindle versions instead of like the hard copies, but I kind of want to get the hard copies and annotate because I feel like I've missed so much of like building blocks of Cosmere type stuff because of that. Because like even there's like things people will say or write, and I'm like, what is because it's not how they like Michael Kramer and Kate pronounce it.
Yeah.
So
Kate,
yeah,
there's excellent podcast you could listen to where they do like a spoiler-free section and a spoiler section where they talk about.
no, but I have to. I'm gonna have to read them like they're nonfiction, basically. And I'm very much where I have to see it. But like when I'm teaching a book, I can take a book, and if I've read it once, if I'm ever needing to find something, I can instantly find it. I physically memorize things in that way. CJ, I am going to like throw this ball to
the Brady
making
Bunch.
me nauseous.
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I already had a headache. Please don't bring it back.
We became the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
CJ has way too much.
That makes sense, though. I get it.
Yeah.
And if it means anything, when you said when I teach a book, I immediately thought of you at the front of the classroom and the books all in the seats.
No, I remember
the animals are the patients.
I remember last year I shocked a whole bunch of students because they were having to find quotes.
Don't. That's not allowed. That is not. No. Jail. Believe it or not. Straight to jail.
Believe it or not. Maybe. Straight to jail.
But Kate, I had a question for you real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
No.
Okay. Have you ever said anything that really surprised your students?
I wasn't talking about something I said.
Have you ever done anything that really surprised your students?
I have surprised students. Yes.
Oh, really?
For example.
In what way?
When
we were doing The Outsiders and they had to find quotes, they could like paraphrase something and they would have to find the page number, and they would just like say a few words and I would open it to the thing. And I had never even read the physical book. I had just read the Kindle version, but I'm still somehow physically able to just, I don't understand. It's like my one superpower.
Nice.
So if I do that with the Cosmere, theoretically.
Unkeyed light is what they had. It wasn't unkeyed stormlight. It was unkeyed light, which he specifically, took away any prefix so that we weren't like, ooh, stormlight or retribution light or life light.
I've thought that this is going to happen pretty much immediately in the back half of Stormlight, is that Vasher / Navani's work is going to be interpreted to just make unkeyed light usable by anybody. Because that just makes sense. All you're doing is playing the right frequencies to get it back into like a general harmonic state.
I think it's going to be, if it's around in book 6, I think it's going to be like a black market, severely limited resource still.
Well, the only way to get normal Stormlight in that era is going to be diffusing Life Tower Light and somehow getting that off Erytheru.
Oh, you could defuse Warlight.
What?
You could defuse Warp.
Erytheru.
Okay, you cannot come in here with Erytheru when he said Erytheru. If we're gonna, that's not a valid correction of that phrase. Y'all are saying the same thing.
It's Erytheru.
It's not me, Erytheru. It's Erytheru.
It's not even Erytheru. Brandon himself said it multiple times. Erytheru.
Sure.
Well, maybe he should talk to his audiobook people.
Brandon has actually said multiple times, however you pronounce it is the correct pronunciation.
No, I know that. I know that, but I can still.
We can still fight. And
Okay, but wait. Okay, do we think that Steve is actually a spaceship?
Gosh darn it.
Steve, the mountain that the Knights Radiant call their home?
Oh, yes. That's how you pronounce it?
Earth? Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve is a spaceship. You are correct.
Kyle knows that I
love me.
Kyle fought me.
That's right.
It's not a spaceship anymore. Your Steve is the fourth moon.
See, I love boot up sequence. Whenever you have like an ancient technology or just something that shut down for a while that boots up again and brings back that life, like I love those scenes. So when Urithiru booted back up in when she's like journey before destination, you bastard. Light, power, everything. That is one of my favorite scenes in all of Stormlight Archive. I love those scenes. Yeah. So if it, turns into a transformer into a spaceship and then shoots off, I will be even more happy.
It turns into Voltron. That's really it.
But it needs all 10 honor blades.
Yes.
That's the steering wheel.
Yeah. All powers combined.
But yeah, CJ, what was your favorite lore drop? Because you seem to remember them more than most of us do.
I mean, I remember most of these. Probably the ruin preservation autonomy. That's something that like you could probably infer by the fact that autonomy is coming back here for the first time, but also it just seemed logical because of double shard and like there were lots of other reasons why.
Well, I'm sort of wondering, did she need permission from both, or did she need permission from one? And if it was one, which one?
Yeah.
Like Ruin could have been like, yeah, sure, you can come back to this rock whenever you want because he has plans to destroy it.
Oh no, that 100%. I would bet it's Laris that invited her in, because Laris would love autonomy's like, oh yeah, we're all the same, and we're all the same here, and we have all the same things, and we're gonna keep it the same way. And Ruin would be like, no, destroy everything, must be different. But I could see her also loving both of them for different reasons, because like,
I can also see AT and like Ruin being like, yeah, we got to fight to see who's the best. So like destroy each other so that we can find out who's really like, whatever autonomy's thing is.
I really can't wait till we get Dragonsteel, just because I love the mention in Wind and Truth that Ahti was brave enough to take. Yes, that Ahti was the best of them and took up Ruin, and then Ruin turned Ahti into what they became.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that.
Brandon
another Anakin
really
Skywalker
wants us to hear
for
that, because that's said like 3 different times, and like an epigraph, and then a this, and then a that, like a secret. I feel like it's in Secret History, and that
he probably is like, be nice to AT.
Well, yeah, after he was the villain, I imagine there will be some like wanting to have that. But also, like, I always imagine AT, based upon the comments, like kind-hearted soul, brave warrior, etc. Like, I imagine maybe Ruin was like very much more destructive and nihilistic, and so and AT was able to calm it down to Ruin purely based upon his own character.
Yeah, I kind of turn it. Almost.
Sazed has always been Discord.
I don't think Sazed will be Discord. I actually think Kelsier will be Discord.
I like
Sazed already is Discord.
I actually, my theory that I will die on the hill on, and might have gotten a answer that it's possible, is that somehow I think Sazed's going to be the first person to willingly give up a shard, and that Kelsier, who has been being set up to be worshipped like Preservation, the survivor, in the north, but in the south is the Lord Ruler and Sovereign. He's being set up to be more aligned with both of those shards. He's going to be worshipped by 2 different sets of people in 2 different ways, so the shard wouldn't reject him as much as it seems to be fighting with Sazed.
But he doesn't want a shard.
Kelsier wants a shard.
Yeah. He has said that he's afraid of the limitations.
Kelsier will do whatever it takes that he thinks he needs to do to protect Scadrial. And the prophecy also mentions that when they will name him Discord and they will love him for it. Yep. So when he becomes Discord and is being worshipped by both continents, because he thinks that's the only way to protect Scadrial from retribution, from autonomy, is to be on that same power level, Kelsier 1,000% will do the Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself, and take up the shard, because he will see that as the only way to protect Scadrial, but also Kelsier is just vain enough to think he would be the only one that could take that up.
Now, do you think that'll usher in an era of like Scadrian civil war, discord amongst themselves as Discord becomes their god?
Yes, because I think that's why we've only seen the Malwish in the Greater Cosmere.
I like that concept because it kind of establishes Discord itself as the intent, and it's not because I think wasn't the big thing that Sazed had to have both the intent of preservation, which he kind of already was, and of ruin, and that's what a lot of Hero of Ages was with him with the religions. So that way he could take both. But your implication, how I'm understanding it, and feel free to correct me, is that he's wanting to harness that chaos, that discord aspect, and use that sort of as its own intent.
Yeah. Basically, like he wants to align, because the problem with Harmony versus Discord is you can't have both. Like they're two counterproductive intents, right? But there's always a little more of ruin than preservation ever since the beginning of the shards on Adriel. So Discord is almost always going to be teetering to try to overtake Harmony. Like I think Sazed is trying to force the shard to be something it's not.
But but who named it Harmony? It's not like
Sazed.
That's
You did.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, it isn't necessarily Harmony. That's why I believe in the says it always has been Discord thing, because it comes down to his own thought of it. And like the stuff that went on with the Malwish from the beginning, and like the messed up stuff that he had done with them, it suggests that he's always been Discord. That's kind of where
I don't disagree with that. I think Discord is the true intent of the shard, and he's trying to force it to be something else.
I agree. That's exactly my thought. That's why I say he's Discord. Doesn't mean that he wants to be.
Right. And that's why I think he'll ultimately give up the shard.
Okay.
I could see that for sure.
Yep.
Two comments. One is
we don't even have to fight anymore, Kyle.
No, right?
I have faith
now we
in
can
what
hug
this
instead
is.
of punch.
I have your trust in my boy. He can do no harm. CJ's gone.
Who's your boy?
Sazed. Love Sazed. He can do no harm. I have full trust in him. Everything is going according to his plan. I trust him. Secondly,
he doesn't trust himself.
Correct.
That doesn't mean you still can't believe in him.
Give us secondly.
What?
What was your second?
What's your second?
Oh, I thought you were saying give us a second to wait for CJ.
No.
I've always had the issue of Kelsier picking up one of the shards to, ascend like that, because he attunes more to ruin, but then that means, I think, metaphysically that like Marsh would have to pick up preservation, because you want that duality, and those two would work right. But then you got an Inquisitor being preservation.
Kelsier's already a sliver of preservation. He's held preservation at one point.
But the establishment of him picking up as Discord intent is actually, I do like that. I feel like that would work.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Does that make me a sliver of Tevlin, since I've held Tevlin at Nexus?
A lot of people held Tevlin.
He's trying to creep in on Scott's territory of just oddness.
Specifically holding Tevlins.
He slipped in the cognitive realm. Scott, you need to go after him.
All right.
Now, see, my disagreement just comes from, I think it makes sense that a dual shard is a pendulum. It oscillates between, right now we're at 70% ruin, 30% preservation, and then on the pendulum swing back, you get to 70% preservation, 30% ruin, and it's a spectrum.
So what does retribution swing back to?
See, I think
I guess you have to think about that. What
war?
If retribution is the more odious form of honorable intent, what is the more honorable form of hatred?
That's retribution. Sounds like the more honorable form of hatred.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. I think that is odium tamed by honor.
So what would honor
What's
tainted
honor
by
tainted
Odium,
by?
man.
Yeah, tainted
War.
by Odium.
I think it's
Vengeance.
just all out war.
Yeah.
Vengeance.
Yeah,
Ooh,
vengeance will be good.
Yeah.
I think vengeance is what the shard becomes when cultivation's introduced, because you need to like vengeance is something that you work towards and you
grow.
cultivate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yeah, it takes time for things to cool.
Meaning, yeah, it's a dish. It's got ingredients. You put it together. You have to grow plants and animals have to
Liff
eat
would
it.
probably steal it.
Exactly. And then you have to kill her for vengeance.
Gotta kill Liff.
I love
Stop!
Liff. Nothing
No!
ever happened to that sweet little summer
Go to
child.
jail.
Anyway. Yeah.
Very
No,
happy
because
that
there was a theory at Nexus that cultivation, the 3 shards of Roshar, would be unity, and I just disagreed with that because no, unity needs to be when there's like 10 shards together and they're trying to gather up the other 6.
Yeah.
You mean the 4 shards of Roshar?
Well,
getting that valor back in.
My own thought. Yeah.
I don't disagree. The valor is probably hidden in that 4th moon.
I don't think valor's there. I've always had this, and I've used it in one of my fanfics. I've had this idea that what if it's possible for a
You're gonna
shard?
plug the AO3 here?
I haven't gotten to, it's in the planning stage, and I don't think I've uploaded it to AO3. It's on fanfiction, but I've had this idea of a shard investing in the cognitive realm instead of the physical realm, and sort of what would that sort of be like?
The shard of the mind. I mean, I think that looks like the door.
Yes, but like with the intent to do so, not just all the investitures.
Yeah, all just hanging out
left.
there. Yeah.
Silverlight, maybe?
Well, I mean, the shards exist in the spiritual realm anyway. Like, so the shards are already, they're walking all 3 realms basically all of the time. They're not, because like the shards can just go to go to the cognitive realm. They can go to the spiritual realm. They can go to the physical realm. They don't invest in a specific.
Well, okay, metaphor. They place their house in the physical realm, right? And then
I think they place their house in
the cognitive realm because cognitive realm sees the house and interprets, right?
Well, I think their house is in the spiritual realm. The physical realm is how
the energy is in the spiritual realm. All
if we say the house is the manifestation that people interact with, I would say that's a manifestation, not where the shards actually invested into.
Right.
Like when someone meets with a shard in the physical or cognitive realm, I don't think that's the shard. I think that's a manifestation created by the shard is the idea.
There's that good line from Emperor's Soul that, you know, the spiritual realm is like the sun, the cognitive realm is that sunbeam. You see the dust mote suspended in air, and then the physical is where that beam of sun hits the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of your divisions there. And so I don't know if necessarily they can invest in the cognitive realm, or if they would, because that's already so affected by the thought of the people.
The cognitive realm is a physical place now.
Yeah.
With physical creatures, like and objects. Like, so it seems like if they can go down and create a planet Scadrial and invest into that, why couldn't they do that in the cognitive realm? So I'm with you, Reader.
Silverlight's kind of maybe that. Is that what you mean, Reader? Like creating a planet in the cognitive realm?
It was more so. I'm trying to sort of remain spoiler-free because I have not fully gotten to that part in fanfic and I don't want to spoil. But basically, imagine a planet that's already existed. So like Nalthus, for example. And then you, instead of going to the physical realm, going to the cognitive realm and investing there.
I don't know that I think there's a difference.
What does the planet have to do with it?
The fact that it creates, there's already an existing subastral.
Okay.
There's already that plane of existence in the cognitive realm. It's not creating a whole new.
I wonder if the difference
it's a
in
fanfic idea.
Yeah,
Gadriel's
it's
cognitive
an
realm
speculation
to Roshar's is because of what you just got at, Reader, of Roshar existed pre-shattering.
Mm-hmm.
So it's subastral is much older than Scadrial's, and is that why Scadrial's is just a field of mist that doesn't have the division of like Sea of Beads and then the riverways that are stone?
See, I always took it's like that sort of like them investing in the physical realm. How does that leak into the cognitive realm? How is that view warped by that investiture? Why are we talking?
We're looking forward to the fanfic so we can delve into your imagination. I want to get back to Valor being on Roshar. We're saying that Valor is the fourth moon, thus it's underneath the Shattered Plains. Is that why we think the Well of Control was placed there?
I think it's a fun
to keep Valor there and like imprisoned underneath it if that's where Odium put his shard pool.
I think
go ahead, Irving.
I think the big thought for Valor being on the Shattered Plains is in the chapters where Odium and Honor are clashing.
Mm-hmm.
They mention, like Honor mentions, becoming suddenly aware, oh, there's people below me. They were hidden from my sight. And then the metal underneath the Shattered Plains, that is the fourth moon, is resonating with them or resonating with the Shardic sort of forces. Oh, Scott just left. He said,
he's like,
I'm gonna promote my chaos.
All right.
Look at my little baby scarf.
That's the start of a scarf.
Yeah, this is the third one I did since I got here. So now it should be good. Christmas presents.
No, but my concern is I'm forgetting the timeline already because I haven't reread the book in a year. But like my mindset was there were how many moons were there originally? 4 or 5?
Well, 4.
4, I thought. And then Honor cultivation, the whole stuff happens for a good while. Stormseed exists. Honor wakes up, fights Odium for a bit. That causes the Shattered Plains. He sees the people he never saw, which I interpreted as the sleepless.
I always took that as to be the Natans, like because that was what Stormseed was there. If I remember right, Stormseed was where they resided, which is what they destroyed when the clash happened.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the things I was asking throughout the entire thing is if there's a relation to the fourth moon not being there and night leaving. And maybe there's a correlation there.
Oh man, to me, like I'm almost thinking because when they call it a fourth moon, they don't reference like even remember if I remember right. Now keep in mind, it's been a minute since I've read Wind and Truth, but it was almost like they didn't even remember that it was there, that it existed. So like and Kate, correct me if I'm wrong on you're thinking Valor's there. Like they basically act like the fourth moon almost hides itself from the shards.
That's what I've understood. But again,
Valor using whatever is hiding there to hide herself from anyone being able to try to find her.
Well, it could even be like from what we hear with Emberdark, where they suggest that she doesn't like have all of her facilities or she like doesn't remember things. There's kind of a question of like, is she even in control of what's going on with herself? So that's what was so interesting with Emberdark and us kind of seeing this whole conversation, which now we kind of know is about Valor, which we didn't know until like even after he published it, when he's been confirming these things. So I think I read through Wind and Truth so quickly, and I feel like I missed so much. So I think I am just gonna like start reading through all the Cosmere in the order he published it and annotate and kind of study it and see how even his oh poor Scott, he isn't in. We need CJ for that. how he like is kind of growing the system, because I think if I tried going just to the books I love the most, I think I would miss out on a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to start with Elantris and go through.
I'm not the best on Roshar, and I'm not exactly the best on this specific thing, because I remember when it came out, my podcast, we decided to do it in parts, and so we read 2 days an episode. So we did days 1 through 2, and then we did an episode on that, and you kind of read along with us. And I was dead set on the moon, or the center of the Shattered Plains being where the Dawn Shard was being kept, and so many things, and I was completely in the wrong. Like, I think it was like day 8, or the episode where we did day 8. I was like, oh, it's the theories and the first gem and the Dawn Shard, it's all coming together. And next day, nope, sorry. I'm very thankful my podcast mates deal with me and my incessant theories.
CJ, not me to you. Oh. Oh no, don't do that to him.
He rises from the
wow, CJ
has returned.
I can imagine CJ's face. He's like, that's me, CJ.
So what did we decide about the fourth moon?
That Kate has everything right.
Okay.
I'll just take over. I'll take over Tyler's spot. Brooke and I can do the podcast now because Tyler is wrong about things and I never am.
Okay. Can you just also start writing Stormlight 6 too?
You got it.
Brandon's got.
I mean, hey, I just fit. Like, I'm only gonna have half the number of students next semester. What else am I gonna do?
Well, I don't know. Write a Stormlight, maybe. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I've been wanting to write, like, you know, those children's classics where like they do the abridged version, like, sanitize it. I kind of want to do those for like the Stormlight books. Like a child's version of Shalon. Like with Shalon's trauma, but like sanitize it really heavily.
Once again, to Paladin, and his brother went missing, and nothing bad ever happened.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, gosh.
You guys are still going.
Yeah.
I'm just about
We heard you name dropped.
Repeatedly.
Twice,
I think.
Gotta get those questions in.
He didn't answer a single one of my questions. Also, what was the second one that you asked?
True Vexillian heritage.
Because that was so like carefully worded.
Yeah,
least amount of information.
That was you gotta word those ones carefully.
I know.
I mean, it was a wording question, you know.
At that point, it's like might as well just ask for a Raffo. Like
he answered it.
Yeah.
What was it again?
Yeah, can you tell us the question and the answer?
What were you trying to get from that question, Josh?
I don't know. Look, it's Vax lore. It's Vax lore.
Yeah,
Vax lore is a delicate. It's a precise thing. We're slowly working. This is like decades in the building type.
I'm sorry, I don't even know.
Oh, I know. Is. I've been fighting it since the beginning. The very first wob on the copper mine about Vax, it's mine.
Really?
Yeah. It's right. It's the Elantris 10th anniversary edition comes out. He adds the Ars Arcanum.
Yep.
It says something about like light weaving on Vax, and I'm in line. Everyone else is like asking dumb questions, but I get to the front and I open up and I'm just like, what's Vax? VAX. And he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like,
Yeah, when in Secret History, in Secret History, when AT dies, he shows up and he's like, he says Vax question mark?
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then Elantris Leatherbound has the thing about Celestial magic is the initiation is different than on Vax.
Yeah.
When we read Elantris for my podcast, we were like, wait a second, it actually mentions Vax in this. What the fudge?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then in Emberdark, we find out that there are
we finally get
2 things. It's mentioned 2 times. One is that Ed has Vaxillian heritage, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And there's also a mention of something talking about mortals, like dragons, or like not something about not like mortals. And he lists off with like some other like species, and one of them is true Vaxillian.
Yeah.
Implying they aren't human.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know if Ed's having Vaxillian heritage, does that mean he is the non-human thing in his blood, or is he like from Vax? He's not true. I'm presuming that
I'm so confused right now.
I'm presuming that true Vaxillian means like these beings that are not humans, and Vaxillian theoretically could mean like a person from the planet of Vax.
Yes. Yeah.
And who was
Like
Ed
Roche
in that book?
Scholar dude.
Ed, the arcanist.
Oh, okay. The scholar on the ship. Okay.
Yeah. One was like, I gotta go tell Jaffu about this, or whoever it was that got name dropped.
You could probably think of it like Rosharan versus true Rosharan, maybe. Like the singers are Rosharans, like true Rosharans.
True Rosharans. I'm assuming that's the like why it says true Vaxillian and not just like you could have just called them Vaxillian, right? But it called them true Vaxillian. So apparently there is a.
Oh, here's a new one for you. So he said Dalinar's dead, right? But a new piece I had.
CJ.
He did.
He did. He said Dalinar's dead.
I don't know if he did.
He did.
I thought he said that
Is Dalinar
he's
dead?
alive.
He said yes. Dalinar is
Yes,
dead.
Josh.
And he said Dalinar is
said
dead in
maybe.
a way. No, he said Dalinar is dead, but not in a way that Kelsier was dead before he came back. Dalinar is dead.
Don't overthink this.
I don't know.
overthink-
I don't know. That's not what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Aren't the dragons that the people are able to visit with dead? Isn't that the whole point, that they are dead, but that you can still visit them in the spiritual realm?
Josh, spoil it for us.
Is Dalinar descended from a dragon?
Oh gosh.
I think we need to let Dalinar lie.
I feel like I
He
just
earned
saw
his
a
rest,
nod
don't
from
you think?
Josh. So Josh agrees at least the dragons are dead in the spiritual realm? Yes?
I think they are.
Okay.
He does.
I think it's.
But you can visit with them or whatever, right?
I think
'Cause
it's
they're
like part of their soul, like is kind of like left behind.
Thank you, Carson. He actually has the quote: Dalinar is dead in the way Vin and Eland are dead, not in the way that Kelsier is dead.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sure.
MVP Carson.
Carson.
Right, so then to nail him down, is Dalinar dead in the way that dragons are dead? No, actually, the one I put in the chat was, is Dalinar dead in the way that Noadon is dead?
Noadon, that's what Noadon is. That's the same thing, right? I'm assuming.
A dragon?
Noadon is a dragon. I don't mean that literally.
Yeah, but conceptually, whatever Noadon is seems to be similar to what that was like. Isles of the Emberdark gave me that new spark where you're in the spiritual realm and you're talking about these beings that keep existing in the spiritual realm for a long time, but are dead, but are not dead, but are
Like I think like Evie's voice to Dalinar, like forgiving him, could be a like real thing. Like not to imply that she is actually still alive, but like there's some memory of her left in the spiritual realm that can kind of.
I think he's just dead.
I mean, isn't it? Yeah.
Wait, he's
back to Vax.
And the limited knowledge we got, or TF.
I'm looking at the Coppermind page for Vax, and I'm not seeing information from another wob that I extracted from Brandon.
Why are you so obsessed with that?
I'm sorry that I have a niche research interest. My bad.
I'm so excited to learn this about you.
Let's just call it what it is, a fetish.
Oh wow.
Vax has haunted us for years.
2 years ago, at one of the Squire trainings, Brandon showed up and he did a little Q&A. Yeah. And I asked, can you tell us anything about Vax? And he again shut me down. But then I said, anything about like the name, the word, is it a place? Is it a person? Is it a thing? And he said, you know how some places are named after people? And I said, yes. And he said, Vax is like that. So Vax was both a person and is
this
now
in Arcanum?
a place. I thought I added it that night. Yeah, we can check.
Ring a bell.
Maybe
That
he
would
took
be
it off.
Scott
He's
just
like,
drastically
"No."
changing Vax knowledge right now.
So just to jump back to the chat, since we do have people still surprisingly watching.
Oh,
sorry.
really?
Anybody in the
we
audience
love
have
you
any
guys.
questions?
I appreciate but we were talking about the like Evie. Carson brought up a good point where like, is that also the TN voice to Kaladin?
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Is like it's very much. I think it was interesting that Brandon said like it depends on how you view the afterlife, and I'm curious to see if he ever actually gives us a definitive answer for the Cosmere, or wants to leave it in the like, hey, is Noadon the whatever is higher than Adelnasium, or is like the spiritual realm just where it all goes back to, or is the beyond even above that?
If Noadon's higher than Adelnasium, why was he just some dude on Roshar for a while?
I don't think that's actually Noadon that we're seeing.
Oh, okay.
I think I've always interpreted Noadon that Dalinar is talking to be the god beyond, taking a form that Dalinar will recognize.
I believe Dalinar. I believe Brandon has said like anything related to the God beyond and the beyond itself is going to be wrath. You're never going to get this because he does not want to confirm any in-world character's belief system on what the afterlife is.
I'll have to take your word on that one. I don't know that, but that's just how I've always interpreted Noadon in that moment. Is that that's just almost like an avatar of the god beyond, because that's what Dalinar would recognize.
It could very much be like intended to be able to be interpreted that way, and like won't be clarified that that's what's happening, right?
Right. At least that's how I've taken it.
That's not how I have, but I can see that.
Now I want to do a version of like waiting for Godot, but waiting for Noadon.
For sure. How have you interpreted that, Joff?
I think it's like the drag. I think it's like a pieces of him left in the spiritual realm that's like there to. I asked about the TN thing. Actually, I have a wob on that. And this is relevant. I said Dalinar had two really weird visions. Was that connection-y stuff like he did with Kaladin and TN? So like Dalinar like connects Kaladin with something in the spiritual realm, right? Mm-hmm. And Brandon said it could be the sort of weirdness that's happening with TN. I think there's still room to like to read it the way you are, but in my mind it's like there's some like memory of Noadon left in the spiritual realm that you're connecting. I mean, part of it is like the spirit. The whole point of the spiritual realm is like there's like time is not a thing. Like it's not locked into like the chronology of everything. So like if something ever existed, it still exists in some sense.
And that's basically what we saw all of.
Yeah, the visions, right? Like that. It's a thing that it's not. You know, these people are dead now, but like the memory of them is. You know, in the spiritual realm, they existed at some point. Yeah. So I just imagine that Dalinar is connecting with like this idea of Noadon that is in the spiritual realm.
Yeah. I almost see where they could both be like, because I'm in some ways I think I'm calling it. Yeah, it's almost where like I feel like we're like almost saying the same thing, like a same but different.
I mean, the key thing is that I guess I'm imagining it just being like more like freeform, like Dalinar just doing his thing versus a deity that is stepping into the story.
Right. Yeah. I could see it either way. Like I'm almost like I would be down with either like being correct, if that makes sense.
Not to sort of take the reins, but is there anything else anybody would like to say? We've been doing this for almost 3.5 hours.
I had a question I wanted to ask that I just was wondering about. I'm trying to remember. Is it Shodel? Are the other Yolish people?
Shodel.
With all the arms.
Do we know is invention Shodel?
I thought there was like a common theory.
Yeah.
That
I think so.
I know they're called. I was looking up invention, and it's Chant Kosar, which sounds like a.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's confirmed, but it's like the same naming
Yeah, and they refer to them as a they as well.
Yeah.
I wish we knew at least like the genders and races and everything of all
the Fae folk.
I mean, it's invention. Maybe they're just inventing some new pronouns and genders for themselves.
I mean, I'm
that
all
would be
for
such an interesting take on an invention instead of like the mechanic type.
I invented new biological genders. Enjoy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Freaking CJ.
Yeah, I guess it hasn't been confirmed, but
CJ, you're gonna give me a headache, and I'm gonna yell at you.
Okay, going back to Vax. I've confirmed that my wob from the Squire training did not make it to the Arcanum.
You gotta add that junk.
I did. I tried to contribute, but I guess it wasn't approved or added or something. Back when I did it 2 years ago. So my memory of it is too weak to feel like I can put it in now.
Darn.
Well, maybe you could see if they recorded it. Do you have any friends in high places?
Oh,
probably
audio?
wasn't.
No one.
Squire training.
It. Yeah.
My two wobs were recorded at events and on a live stream. So I know
you got a wob today.
There.
My ex has
Also,
a wob.
The two today.
I'm not good at thinking up questions on the spot.
You don't gotta think of on the spot. You gotta have a list.
Yeah, but I don't do that either. And then I think of something, and I'm like, "Hey, Jofflu."
A list, Kate.
And then I still believe. Wait, I don't remember. I think I. Yes, you did confirm something. Now I know for sure you did.
List, Kate.
Scott, the other way.
I remember now. I can't remember what I asked you, but I know I got it officially answered just tonight. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yes. Okay. Yes. No. Yes. I do remember now.
That Laris and
no. I said some. Okay. So
autonomy. We're doing the dirty.
It wasn't until tonight that we knew for sure Hoyd was a dad, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. I remember
it was implied, but he confirmed.
Yeah. Joffrey, do you remember now the question I asked? And you were like, I was like, oh, I got you to accidentally say some. No.
I do remember. I do. Yeah.
I'll talk about it later.
Kate's gonna
Not
get
that you did.
Brandon sending the Dragonsteel SWAT team over.
I didn't confirm anything.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Is this a Fires of December thing?
Yeah.
Ooh, wait.
No, okay. He didn't. He didn't.
Huh?
He's too tight-lipped.
Yeah.
You asked me if the Fires of December had anything about Hoyd in his. If you in the reading, you asked if there was anything in the.
No, I know. I'm not going to say it on this live stream.
I see a SWAT team coming to take.
I know. I don't want to mess with Josh's stuff.
I'll say what I got out of a different beta reader who's not Josh. I was sitting next to him during the reading. No one say who I was sitting next to.
I have no idea.
We're sitting right next to each other. You were there too.
Scott,
it was you, me, Josh, and this other person.
Scott, I was being sarcastic.
You don't remember? Okay,
see, the way you set that up in my mind, I'm just imagining Brandon has like a giant classroom and it's like all the beta readers sit down and like everybody's synchronously flipping pages and reading.
No, and the first thing that I said to this other beta reader was, "Oh, this is the story of Hoyd's wife, isn't it?" And he just kind of looked at me, and then he went back to reading the book on his phone because he had it on his phone. I was so freaking mad. He just really? Like had his manuscript. And he was following along as Brandon was reading it, like, and he pointed out like, "Oh, she used to be 18 in the beta manuscript, but now she's 21 or something." And like, I was so upset with that person. But he didn't confirm anything. But I think that him not having an answer to that confirms it. So, okay, I'm with you on this. You're I can't hear you. You're muted.
Muted now.
Who muted me?
CJ.
I'm gonna keep CJ.
He's gotten drunk with power.
He has. I am
Right.
offended.
Okay.
I am offended as well. It's getting late. Sun's getting real low, you guys.
I'm gonna go play Ghost of Tsushima.
It's bedtime on the East Coast. Peace
Yeah, it is.
out.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank you
CJ's
for
just
joining.
getting started. CJ wants to know if anyone wants to play test something in 2 hours.
Yes. Yes.
CJ.
Yes. Do it, Joffwu. Join.
No. Are you serious?
Yes.
He's thinking about it, isn't he?
Okay.
Do it. You
Let's end
don't
the
need to
stream.
sleep. You
No.
haven't played Civilization with me yet, so you have to.
I haven't, but I'm
You
not.
have to do this now.
CJ, are you ready to end the stream?
CJ put us out of our misery.
Take us out,
CJ,
Captain.
tell him that he has to do it.
Just one in the back.